PI reports consumer advocate groups are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether child-friendly mobile games available in the Google Play Store violate privacy laws by building a profile of the children. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act prohibits the collection of geolocation data and other private information that could be sold to advertisers. The group of 22 consumer advocate groups filed a complaint with the FTC saying Google violates COPPA and its own policies with several of its games. Many of the games are targeted at preschool-aged children. Josh Golan, executive director of the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, said the business model for the Play Store's family section benefits advertisers, developers, and Google at the expense of children and parents. Google puts its seal of approval on apps that break the law, manipulate kids into watching ads, and making purchases. The complaint cites several examples of child-targeted games that access a phone's geolocation, including the apps Preschool Education Center and Top 28 Nursery Rhymes and Songs. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Senate on Tuesday overwhelmingly passed legislation long in the making and backed by President Donald Trump to reduce sentencing for certain prison inmates. By a vote of 87 to 12, the Republican-led Senate passed and sent to the House of Representatives the First Step Act, which would ease the way for some prisoners to win early release to halfway houses or home confinement. The legislation also aims to establish programs to head off repeat offenders and protect first-time nonviolent offenders from harsh mandatory minimum sentences. Earlier this year, the House passed a bipartisan bill focusing on prison reforms, which did not include the sentencing reforms. With little time left as Congress tries to wrap up its session this month, Senate proponents are hoping their broader version of the bill is accepted by the Republican-controlled House. Trump congratulated the Senate on passing the bill and said he looks forward to signing it into law. During Senate debate of the bill, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin noted that the United States has 5% of the world's population, but about 25% of the world's prisoners. He added that minorities bore the brunt of tough mandatory minimum sentences that judges have been directed to impose as a result of decades-old laws that have exploded the numbers of incarcerated people. In response to criticism from some conservatives that the legislation could prompt the release of violent criminals into society, the bipartisan measure was reworked to scale back the discretion judges would have in some sentencing cases. Before passing the bill, the Senate defeated amendments by Republican Senators Tom Cotton and John Kennedy that would have further tightened requirements. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Fossilized evidence reveals the Spazosaurus was the largest doofus ever to roam the Earth, and a new tandem mobility scooter is released. This is the Onion Week in Review, damn it, and we're going to need you to demonstrate a little decorum. Got it? This week, economists confirm that the booming tear gas industry continues to lead the world's economic recovery. Financial experts confirm that the growing demand for tear gas in countries like Turkey, Brazil, and Greece has increased over 20% annually over the past few years, and is anticipated to continue playing a major role in the world economy.
The market for tear gas just keeps sustaining itself and growing. We can only hope that more people demand tear gas in the coming months, and the recovery will be here sooner than we thought.
In other news, a community is devastated by the sight of an old man struggling up some steps. A stack of unused CDRs turns 5 years old, and this zoo is really promoting the hell out of their new fruit bat. Your diligence and patience have been noted. Prove yourself further at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can dial in toll-free. To take control of the airwaves here, our number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you over at discord.lrn.fm. Just jump into one of those at the top of our list, and we will join you, and then you'll be on the air with us in the studio tonight. You've got Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Starting out with a little bit of Google news, where apparently Google's in some hot water, or they may be very shortly, with the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, over some children's games and some sort of tracking perhaps going on, or things
that's the allegation anyway.
Things that they are allegedly not supposed to be doing. We can get into that coming up here. But a follow-up piece first up from The Intercept. We've talked in recent weeks about the Google Project Dragonfly, which is their, well, not so secret project at this point, where they were developing, and maybe still are, but they're claiming they're not now apparently. But they were developing this secret search engine that became not so much of a secret anymore for China.
Yes.
Under the auspices of teaming up with some Chinese government-run corporation over there, because basically all the corporations are government-run to some extent there.
Right.
So it wasn't the government, but it basically was the government through its corporation.
Right. It was not the government the same way that Amtrak is not the government.
Or the Postal Service or something like that.
Right.
Right. So they were designing this Dragonfly to where you would have to, of course, it would have all the required censorship by the Chinese government.
Right.
Certain things you just can't look for, like discussions about democracy or Tank Man, the guy that stood in front of the tanks in 1988 or 89.
89.
It was. You can't search for those things in China, among other topics. And so not only would it, of course, have the censorship with it, but it would also require you to log in. So normally if you go to Google, you can just type right into Google and search for something. Now, of course, they're still tracking your IP address and tracking everything they can, even if you're not logged into Google.
Right. That's why some people, especially privacy advocates in the U.S., suggest using either DuckDuckGo or StartPage. One of those uses Google as the search engine, but
there's a privacy aspect.
Runs everything through some privacy filter so that your ISP and the information about what browser you're using, the screen resolution, and if you think that Google's not tracking that, well, you've not been paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
They most certainly do.
That's standard info for most websites to gather about
most
their visitors.
Websites will, gather. Now, the admin might not be able to put everything together to say, yes, Ian Freeman visited my website.
No, unless there's a login, which is associated with your name, which is what they wanted this Dragonfly
I'm saying
to have.
If there's not a login, then I couldn't necessarily know that Ian visited my website, but I would know somebody from Keene, New Hampshire.
Correct. At this IP address.
This number of people using Windows and this size screen resolution, blah, 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 blah.
But in this case, they would have a login because you would have to have a login to use the Dragonfly search engine for China. That was among other, nasty things. So basically the idea was they were teaming up in a even bigger way with the Chinese government than they already had.
The way that this came really to light, other than just speculation, was there were, thousands of Google employees? It was at least hundreds that signed a letter to, Google management saying, hey, we just realized what we're working on. We're not happy about it.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Yeah, there has been some leaks.
We're leaving.
There have been some leaks inside of Google. So Google, according to Ryan Gallagher at TheIntercept.com, has been forced to shut down a data analysis system that it was using to develop a censored search engine for China after members of the company's privacy team raised internal complaints that it had been kept secret from them. According to The Intercept, the internal rift over the system has had massive ramifications, effectively ending work on the censored search engine known as Dragonfly. According to two sources familiar with the plans, the incident represents a major blow to top Google executives, including CEO Sundar Pichai, who have over the last 2 years made the China project one of their main priorities. The dispute began in mid-August when The Intercept revealed that Google employees working on Dragonfly had been using a Beijing-based website to help develop blacklists for the censored search engine, which was designed to block out broad categories of information related to democracy, human rights, and peaceful protest, in accordance with strict rules of censorship in China that are enforced by the country's authoritarian Communist Party government. The Beijing-based website 265.com is a Chinese-language web directory service that claims to be China's most used homepage. Google purchased the site in 2008 from Kai Wensheng, a billionaire Chinese entrepreneur. 265.com provides its Chinese visitors with news updates, information about financial markets, horoscopes, and advertisements for cheap flights and hotels. It also has a function that allows people to search for websites, images, and videos. However, search queries entered on 265.com are redirected to Baidu, the most popular search engine in China, and Google's main competitor in the country. As The Intercept reported in August, it appears that Google's used 265.com as a honeypot for market research, storing information about Chinese users' searches before sending them along to Baidu. According to Google sources, engineers working on Dragonfly obtained large data sets showing queries that Chinese people were entering into the 265.com search engine. At least one of the engineers obtained a key needed to access an application programming interface, or API, associated with 265.com and had used it to harvest search data from the site. Members of Google's privacy team, however, were kept in the dark about the use of 265.com. Now, this is the first I've heard about the 265.com. That was not mentioned, at least in previous coverage of this.
Yeah, I had not previously heard of this.
I'm not familiar with the site, but of course we don't live in China, so maybe it's fairly popular over there. I've heard of Baidu as far as that search engine is concerned. The engineers used the data they pulled from 265.com to learn about the kinds of things that people are located in mainland China are routinely searching for in Mandarin. This helped them build a prototype of Dragonfly. The engineers used the sample queries from 265.com, for instance, to review lists of websites that Chinese people would see if they typed the same word or phrase into Google. They then used a tool they call Beacon Tower to check whether any websites in the Google search results would be blocked by China's internet censorship system, known as the Great Firewall. Through this,
I like that.
That's what it's called. Through their process, the engineers compiled a list of thousands of banned websites, which they integrated into the Dragonfly search platform so that it would purge links to websites prohibited in China, such as those of the online encyclopedia Wikipedia. Sorry, not available in China, apparently. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't know that. And also the BBC, also off limits. Under normal company protocol, analysis of people's search queries is subject to tight constraints and should be reviewed by the company's privacy staff, whose job is to safeguard user rights. But the privacy team only found out about this data after The Intercept revealed it. So it was revealed by The Intercept through leaks before the privacy team at Google even knew what was going on. So they found out about it by reading The Intercept, not from any sort of internal source within their own company.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Following a series of discussions, two sources said Google engineers were told they were no longer permitted to continue using the data to help develop Dragonfly, which has since had severe consequences for the project. One source says that the 265 data was integral to Dragonfly. Access to the data has been suspended now, which has stopped progress. In recent weeks, teams working on Dragonfly have been told to use different data sets for their work. They're no longer gathering search queries from mainland China and are now instead studying global Chinese queries that are entered into Google from people living in countries such as the United States and Malaysia. Those queries are qualitatively different from searches originating from within China itself, making it virtually impossible for the Dragonfly team to hone the accuracy of results. Significantly, several groups of engineers have now been moved off Dragonfly completely and told to shift their attention away from China and instead work on projects related to India, Indonesia, Russia, the Middle East, and Brazil. Records show that 265.com is still hosted on Google servers, but its physical address is listed under the name of the Beijing Wixang Information and Technology Company, which has an office space on the third floor of a tower building in Beijing. 265.com is operated as a Google subsidiary, but unlike most Google-owned sites like YouTube, it's not blocked in China and can be freely accessed by people in the country using any standard internet browser. We'll continue here with a little bit more on what's going on with the Google scandal over its secretive Chinese search engine coming up.
From the third letter of Captain Mark. The Crown's observation conditions us to be dishonest with ourselves. Therefore, constant surveillance produces a society of constant deception. Honest communication is the seed of civilized conduct. To deny us this seed is to deny us its fruits. But the Crown's primary objective is to stifle free thought itself, to make its subjects incapable of dissent. Seasoned pirates have always encrypted messages and codes and ciphers, so intercepted transmissions were incomprehensible. But today, the Crown possesses advanced tools of pattern recognition that document, profile, and predict our every move. Today, piracy requires hailing frequencies completely invisible to the Crown. We are tired of poltergeists in the static. Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
When do you want to spot that burglar? When he's casing your home or after he's in? Ask John, whose Blink camera alerted him of burglars trying to break in while his family was home. Or Shannon, whose Blink camera caught a package thief. Blink motion-activated cameras are wire-free, set up in minutes, and run on 2 AA batteries that last up to 2 years. Save up to a whopping 40% off all outdoor XT and add-on cameras through December 22nd, while supplies last. Visit blinkprotect.com/holiday. blinkprotect.com/holiday.
Free Talk Live.
I wouldn't snitch them out. I would report them to the police.
Right. Okay, now
call it what you want, sir.
Now, many states have laws about carrying firearms, even though their constitutions say that it's legal for everyone to own a firearm.
Like New York State.
There's no way to ban it. Would you snitch out somebody that you knew had a firearm?
If they had it illegally, I wouldn't snitch them out. I would report them.
Right.
I got to say, you're a bad American, Ken.
Yeah, I think you're a scumbag, Ken.
You're a communist.
I'm
a communist.
I'm a communist because I want people to be able to carry guns like the Second Amendment says.
He'd snitch on the person, and then the cops would come and infringe it for him.
Felons out there carrying guns at will.
I'm a convicted felon. Do you think I shouldn't be able to protect my wife from an intruder?
I don't think you should have a gun.
How am I going to protect myself if the guy has a gun?
There are many other ways to protect yourself than not having a gun.
You should call the cops, Mark, like any good citizen.
That way the cops can come clean up my corpse after it's all over, right?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Boost Kid Essentials Nutritionally Complete Drink, providing your picky eater with essential nutrition and great taste in one drink. Visit us at kidessentials.com. To make sure your kids eat healthy, follow the 5-a-day plan. Serve 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily. Remember, a serving could just mean a piece of fruit or a half cup of veggies. If your kids are picky eaters, ask a nutritionist about other sources. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free. Join us here on the radio waves. You can bring up anything that you want. With you tonight, it's Ian
and Conan
and Darryl.
The Blink home security cameras are a very handy little system that we have utilized here and are utilizing here at the LRN.FM studio. Mark Edge, one of our normal co-hosts, he's got it at his house. And it's a pretty slick little system. In fact, it's expandable, of course. You can, get a couple cameras and add more if you want to. Go to blinkprotect.com/holiday. You've got a special offer on Blink home security cameras there, up to 40% off all outdoor XT and add-on cameras through December 22nd. So time's running out on that special offer. blinkprotect.com/holiday. It couldn't really be much easier to set this system up because it's wireless. So you unbox the cameras, you put the batteries in. It comes with the batteries, and then you just put the cameras up wherever you want to put them. And that's it. You just set it all up via the wireless or the Wi-Fi enabled setup. It's super fast to do. You decide when the cameras operate and how long the clips are that they send to your phone, so that way you can see what's going on wherever it is that you happen to be. As long as you've got internet access, you will know what's going on at your house or small office. I think it would work well for that. So go to blinkprotect.com/holiday /holiday to get the special offer. And most importantly here, there's no contracts or subscriptions. So a lot of security systems, you got to pay somebody per month. That's not the case here at all. In fact, Blink also works with Alexa because Blink is an Amazon company. And the two AA batteries, they last up to 2 years. I have yet to replace the ones here at the studio, and it's been well over a year at this point. BlinkProtect.com/holiday. So we're talking about some big corporations here, starting out with Google and the news about the Dragonfly project. Now, it's not real clear if it's officially dead, but the quote here from The Intercept is that it's effectively ended.
Right, and yeah, it's one of these things to where Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google,
right,
they like to do this, sort of shell game thing of, oh, no. Google's not working on this anymore.
It's another company.
Subsidiary. There's that Chinese subsidiary that they mentioned.
265.com.
Yeah, so maybe they're working on the project now, but Google isn't working on the project anymore.
Right, so it's true, but not really.
Right, so, YouTube, a subsidiary of Google, which is a subsidiary of Alphabet,
through the magic
basically runs as its own complete distinct business
through the magic of corporations and corporate subsidiaries. Yeah, so that way, you can essentially tell lies as though you're telling the truth.
Right, but some subsidiary companies can only do things with direct supervision, and there are some of the Google subsidiaries where Google's like, yeah, you just do whatever you want to over there.
Yeah,
and we're just going to kind of look the other way.
So what has happened here is and some of the engineers apparently that had been working on the Chinese Dragonfly search engine, which was the secretive thing they had been developing until it was revealed publicly over the summer by the very same website we're reporting from here, theintercept.com. The Google's privacy team didn't even know about some of the things that was going on with its development, and they're supposed to know these things. They found out from reading the article at The Intercept about what was going on within their own company. So in recent weeks, they have shifted this responsibility. Several groups of engineers have been moved off of Dragonfly completely and are working on other projects now. Records show that 265.com, which is Google's subsidiary in China, is still operating, and it's not blocked in China. The internal dispute at Google over the data is not the first time that important information related to the Dragonfly project has been withheld from the company's privacy team. The Intercept reported in November that privacy and security employees working on the project had been shut out of key meetings and felt that senior executives had sidelined them. Jonathan Zunger, formerly a 14-year veteran of Google and one of the lead engineers at the company, worked on Dragonfly for several months last year and said the project was shrouded in extreme secrecy and handled in a highly unusual way from the outset. Scott Beaumont, Google's leader in China and key architect of the Dragonfly project, quote, did not feel that the security, privacy, and legal teams should be able to question his product decisions, according to Zunger, who said further, and he maintained an openly adversarial relationship with them, quite outside the Google norm. So lots of secrecy, strange behavior from executives. Last week, Pichai, who's Google's CEO, appeared before Congress, where he faced questions about Dragonfly. He stated that, quote, right now, unquote, there were no plans to launch the search engine. Though that's like, these politicians who say they don't have plans to run for president, and then they end up running for president.
Right.
Or have no plans to ever enact legislation, because it would never come to pass when this particular act ever affects you American people. And then 4 years later, with another legislator, with another president, with some other executive, you're like, oh yeah, look at what we found. Let's go ahead and use it.
Though Pichai refused to rule out the possibility in the future, of course, because there's a bunch of money in it for them. Of course they want to launch this thing in China. Google had originally aimed to launch Dragonfly between January and April of 2019. Leaks about the plan and the extraordinary backlash that ensued both internally and externally appear to have forced company executives to shelve it, at least in the short term. Two sources familiar with the project said. This is one of those questions, by the way, the last line here is that Google did not respond to requests for comment. This is one of those stories where is Google just going to kind of sit back for a while and then slowly and quietly launch this thing in China?
Probably.
And hope that nobody notices.
Or change the name.
And even if they do, or change the name, and even if they do launch it and people do notice, is it really going to hurt them that bad? I mean, because obviously the publicity is bad. It's not good publicity for Google. And, you could argue that all publicity is good publicity. But in this case, Google's already got enough publicity. Everybody knows who they are.
Right.
They've become a verb, right? Like Google can't get much more publicity than it already has.
Right.
I mean, there may be some people. I remember when we worked at the I don't know if you were there for this, Darryl, but I think you were. When we were at the outreach booth in Cheshire County Fairgrounds, and there were actually people that would walk by us who, when we would ask them about Bitcoin or try to pitch Bitcoin to them, they'd be like, "I don't use the internet." So there may still actually be some people out there that don't know what Google is. Right. But they pretty much live out in the woods and, barely get into any kind of...
For reference...
And old people.
For reference, the people saying this were not old people. There were high school age kids.
Camo hat wearing, just got off their ATV.
I don't use computers.
Yeah.
I don't need that internet thing.
That seriously was the attitude and literally what we were told.
Well,
and this was within the last 5 years.
I constantly run into older people, and when I say old, I mean 75 and up, 80, 90, who don't email. They don't understand it, or they don't own a computer, so the email is just not an option, and they're still writing letters to the editor, and that's the only way they know to communicate.
To the rest of the world.
Yeah, it's like send an email. It's like, yeah, that's not going to be a possibility.
That's not been my experience with elderly people. I've found that the ones that I manage to interact with tend to be online.
And then meanwhile, you almost get sideswiped by a 90-year-old who's texting on her cell phone.
Yeah, well, they got a lot of elderly folks are into the internet. They got plenty of time on their hands.
Yep.
And it's a great way to contact the kids and the grandkids and all that.
Facebook.
So more. Oh no, that's not a great way. 855-450 free. 855-450-3733.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial on in here, toll free, and join us. Our number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And we do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Hop into one of those. We'll get you on the air, and you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And with you tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
We go back to your calls, or to your calls, rather, because it's our first caller here for the night. It's Doug in Illinois on Free Talk Live. Hello, Doug. Go ahead.
I pretty much want to talk about, do you remember what happened down in Parkland, Florida with the shooting?
The shooting, yeah.
They had a major ruling today at the federal court that I think that you remember the cop that would not go in. He kind of waited out front of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And the ruling pretty much reaffirmed a ruling in 2005 that the government they have no obligation to protect you, including the cop who did not go in the building.
Mm-hmm.
It had to do with, I think, all the way from the local government all the way up to Florida. And I found it to be pretty shocking. I mean, if you go online and you read it, I think that they can be pretty shocking. If you're an individual, or even if you're a group of people, you're not obligated to the duty of having a cop protect you.
Yeah,
then what the hell are we paying them for?
And the next time someone says, this is the price we pay to live in civilized society, I love paying my taxes because of police and fire and all. This is the story you need to bring up. It says, no, police are not obligated to protect you.
Right.
They don't have to.
They haven't been, and the U.S. Supreme Court in Descheny v. Winnebago County in 1989 said that. They reaffirmed it in Castle Rock v. Gonzalez. Warren v. D.C. was a circuit court of appeals. It wasn't the Supreme Court.
Okay.
But the other court cases decided by the Supreme Court looked at that decision.
Yeah.
And in this situation, and the ruling actually came out yesterday.
What level was this court? Do you know offhand?
Federal court in Florida.
Okay.
The judge wrote in part, the claim arises from the actions of Nicholas Cruz, a third party, and not a state actor. Thus, the critical question the court analyzes is whether defendants had a constitutional duty to protect plaintiffs from the actions of Cruz.
Defendants being the cops?
Yes.
Okay.
As previously stated, for such a duty to exist on the part of the defendants, plaintiffs would have to be considered in custody. And because they're not considered to be, even though they're forced by law to go to school, they're not considered to be in custody of the police.
That's the one
So
exception.
therefore, there's no obligation that police protect anybody.
Right. You're right, Darryl. I'm glad they actually mentioned that, because that's the one exception. If you are in their custody, if you are in their jail or their prison or their hands through an arrest, then there's supposedly some sort of
supposedly.
Yeah.
But yet when somebody winds up, dying for myriad reasons in prison or a holding cell,
good luck.
Nobody's ever held accountable.
Yeah.
So there might be some kind of settlement.
That one in 2005 had been pretty unbelievable when you read into that too, for the fact that the woman took out an order of protection, I believe, on her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he ended up kidnapping the children and then killing the children.
Oh God.
And they notified, I believe, the local sheriff, but don't quote me on that. And whoever it had been, they never acted, and the guy ended up killing the children. I mean, and then she tried taking them to court for not acting. I mean, that can be what you pay them for. That can be what we're told.
Not.
We're told from kindergarten that
Right.
we pay them for protection, and here they're not doing what they should do. But we really shouldn't be shocked. I mean, when you have authority and you don't have accountability, you have that lead to tyranny. People do whatever the hell they want to do.
Right. The reason why people pay isn't because they're being protected. It's because they have to.
Because if they don't, they'll get locked up themselves.
That's right.
Well, in a lot of cases,
be a good slave.
In a lot of cases, it's taken out of their paycheck before they ever have a chance to say whether they want it out or not.
That's true. Of course, local cops tend to get paid through property tax collections.
Correct.
Yes.
And then that's a good point. The property tax, half of the population, the renters, don't even realize that they're paying into the system. And so anything you don't see, anytime you don't see where the money is going or that the money is even coming out of your rent or your paycheck, you are less likely to follow it up and to think about things like this.
Yep. They don't have any obligation not only to protect you, but to do any sort of service for you. They don't have any obligation to investigate a crime that has been committed against you. I forget what it was I was looking at the other night, but some cops out in California. Oh, I know what it was. It was last night on our after show. Johnson had a video of a dude who came up with a really brilliant package bomb kind of trap thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that video?
Yeah. So he put 4 LTE cell phones, cell phones that had LTE coverage, and he custom made a circuit board so that when the box got picked up, it turned on the cell phones. That way it didn't just run the battery down sitting there waiting all day. And then when somebody removed the box off of the package, then spinny thing flung glitter,
a bunch of glitter, all
and then as Billy Mays would say, but wait, there's more.
There's a poop smell too, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there was fart spray that after I think it was 30 seconds would get activated five times.
And then again after another.
And then again.
Yeah.
And then again.
and actually, if we were to, and people wonder what would happen if we were to get rid of the police. This is what would happen. You would have entrepreneurs who would step up to the plate and be like, hey, buy my glitter bomb.
But the reason I bring it up is because...
Well, hold on. There's more. Yeah. The phones were GPS enabled so that he could track to see where the package went so that he could go retrieve it afterwards.
When they chucked it out of the car because it stank too bad.
Yeah.
And so the point I wanted to make was part of that guy's video was he tried to call the police.
Right.
Like, hey, look, I've got, I've got evidence here. I've got video footage of these people stealing this package. Cops told him it's not worth our time.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And he said that he kept getting notifications of package delivered from Amazon. I don't have any package. What are you talking about? There's no packages.
Oh, my God.
That's why he
put the
decided to make this thing of himself, his own, because even though he had a surveillance video showing people walking away with stuff, the cops wouldn't do anything. And he's like, all right. I want to get some good video.
But what good does it do you?
And
You're
then
in Los Angeles. You're in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You're never going to see these people again.
Right.
At least in Keene, New Hampshire. Go ahead. Sorry, Doug.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We have kind of a delay. That can be why. I want to get one more thing in. I think that a big issue here can be the judicial branch, too. They continually never protect individual freedom, liberty, and private property.
That's not their job.
And I mean... well, it should be. You'd think that would be the type of thing that they would do.
The job of the government is to protect and serve the government. The job of the courts is to protect and serve the government. The only time they will do anything at all that appears to be in the benefit of the individual or the people.
When votes are at stake.
That's one time, and then the only other time is just to kind of make it look good every now and then. Because if it was all bad court decisions, one after another, with no good sounding court decisions, people might kind of get a clue that this is they're screwing us.
Right.
But every now and then they throw you a bone. They'll throw you, oh, yeah, well, we'll protect your privacy in this little way over here. But, over in, like, what was it, Kentucky recently, now the cops can say they smell marijuana outside of your house, and that gives them the right to search your entire house.
Yeah.
Because they don't even need a warrant. And that the reason why they allowed that was because they had allowed, the courts in Kentucky had allowed it in their cars. So they figured, well, if you can do it to their car, you should be able to do it to their house. So just all the cop has to do is say, I smell weed in there. We're coming in.
Yeah, or get up getting a hit off the dog. They take the dog, and they've shown the dog to be totally unreliable.
Very unreliable.
But I mean, if you give them any type of trouble, they let the dog climb all over your car and nick it up, and then you're dealing with that. They won't pay for that.
Nope, that's true. It happened to a friend of mine in Florida. Doug, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you, and it's sad but true. And Doug was surprised by the court decision that he mentioned. This no obligation to protect. That's all you got to do is just Google that phrase, no obligation to protect, and you'll find a variety of court cases that if you don't believe what we're saying, please do the research here yourself. And this is what leads me to say that there's no such thing as a citizen, okay? And the reason why there's no such thing as a citizen is because a citizen is someone who owes a duty of allegiance, meaning you have a duty to be, allied with them, to do what they say. In return, because it's a deal, right? It's supposed to be a deal. In return for an obligation of protection. Mm-hmm. So in return for them protecting you, you're supposed to be their bitch. Well, it turns out they don't have an obligation to protect you, but you're their bitch anyway. 855-450, free like freedom. This is Free Talk Live.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose.
And here's Mike's best offer ever. My Pillow is now offering 50% off their 4-pack special plus free shipping. Go to mypillow.com or call 800-951-5617 and use promo code FTL. That's 50% off plus free shipping. Don't delay. Order now.
Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Marijuana has unleashed a green gold rush across our nation. It's creating $10.8 billion in new wealth a year. And every day, it's transforming more and more Americans into millionaires. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner reveals how you could become one of them. Join him online for the American Cannabis Summit. Attendance is 100% free, but space is limited. Join online at www.acs2018.com. John Boehner and an esteemed panel will reveal which cannabis stocks are primed to deliver life-changing windfalls. Plus, they will show you how to become a cannabis angel investor, backing the hottest startups before they potentially become worth billions of dollars.
To join the American Cannabis Summit, visit acs2018.com or text JOIN to 76280. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Text JOIN to 76280. Text JOIN to 76280 now.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, you can join us here and take control of the airwaves. Our number 855-450-3733. Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it's now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. All you have to do is go to giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card that you want, and follow the instructions on the screen. Make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight, and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. It's giftcards.bitcoin.com. They got big name brands like Applebee's, Domino's, Home Depot, Uber, and hundreds more. Go to giftcards.bitcoin.com. We've been talking about the no obligation to protect rulings that continue to come out one after another, year after year, outrageous situation after outrageous situation of what some would call dereliction of duty, when the police basically stand by and do nothing or completely ignore calls for help from people who are either being murdered or raped or threatened or whatever, or having packages stolen off of their porch, or you name it. They have no obligation to provide you with even a simple phone conversation, let alone an investigation or an arrest or, finding a suspect or anything like that.
And I would throw teachers into that same boat for dereliction of duty when you consider the test scores and the fact that they have not gone anywhere except stagnant for the past 50 years, even though the price of tuition per student has skyrocketed. And it's the same argument. And
$20,000 per student.
But these happy slave taxpayers just can't face the fact that there are bad teachers out there, just like there are bad cops, and they don't have to actually succeed in educating your child the same way a cop doesn't have to keep you safe.
No,
they don't have to go into that building to save you. Now, the next question, I guess, is where are firemen on that scale? What's the ruling there? I know we just had one here in New Hampshire who actually died in
a fireman.
He died in duty. He got burned up. So I know.
This isn't to say that there aren't good cops or good firemen who are going to do the best they can to try to solve a problem. I want to make that clear. It's just they don't have to.
Yeah.
And if they don't like you, then they don't have to provide you the service, or if they claim they're too busy, or if you're just not worth their time, or whatever the excuse is, or we were too scared to go into the building, whatever it is. Officer safety is paramount in the case of a lot of these school shootings, where the cops will hide outside and wait for the school shooter to kill himself, and everything quiets down, then they finally go in and clean up the mess. But they have no obligation to provide you with any sort of assistance whatsoever. So that's why our caller earlier was so frustrated. He's like, what are we paying these people for?
Now, what would be...
Because you're afraid of what they'll do if you don't.
What would be the alternative? A private security team. Say, for example, Parkland, Florida. The same guy, he's a private security.
Under contract.
To
provide a service.
And he didn't follow through.
Well, that's a contract violation.
There you go. And that is your other option, people.
Right.
Right now, you, the happy slave taxpayer, you have no recourse. There's no way you could go after this Parkland guy. No. However, if the guy was hired to do a job, a private guy, It would be just like if your cable company, shut your cable down for a day. You could get on the phone. You say, "Hey, look, you owe me 24 hours. I want my credit." The same thing. Hey, we lost.
And it would be embarrassing. It would be embarrassing too if a private security company was under contract to provide actual protection services, and it turns out they'd hired a coward who's like gonna, hide in a bush outside of whatever it is was going on, and that information comes out. Because in the Parkland case, wasn't there video of the cop just kind of lurking outside,
standing around outside? Yeah.
So, like, if there's actual video proving that the dereliction of duty of a private security officer who's contracted to perform an actual protection service, that's an embarrassment for that company. That could lose them business. Yep. And they would come out and make whatever kind of apologies and make whatever restitution was necessary.
Reparations,
fire this person, at the very least demote him to the dispatcher role because he cannot handle the heat of being in an actual situation like that.
But the way the government police work, we're going to investigate ourselves. Yep. He's on paid administrative leave until further notice.
And he's going to take some courses.
If that. They're going to circle the wagons and protect their own because they're going to get funded whether or not you're happy with their service. And, I mean, that's why.
Right, and then if anybody dares question, then somebody will come out and say, well, you don't know how dangerous it is. Well, let's look at let's look at the actual statistics and see that loggers and fishermen,
taxi drivers, roofers. I mean, these guys, firemen and police are not even on the scale.
They're in the top.
They're in there
50 or whatever. But look, I'm not going to say it's not a dangerous job.
And if you want to remove it completely from the scale, in the drug war.
Oh, it'll be a lot more safe.
They wouldn't be in the top 100.
So I don't want to say it's not dangerous, but regardless, there's no obligation for them to take any risks. They can take their sweet time getting to a call.
Right.
Doesn't matter when they get there. Whereas, remember when Domino's had that 30 minutes or less delivery deal? There's no reason why a private security company wouldn't have a guaranteed response time. We will be there in X number of minutes or else. Or, you can get whatever money out of us. So, toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. And since we're talking about the police, I just happened to stumble across an absolutely outrageous story of police abuse to the max. We'll share that with you coming up here. But Rev is on the line in Florida. Rev, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Hi, gentlemen. Just kind of echoing a lot of what you said in just more crass terms, and I'll watch my language here. But it's kind of ironic and funny how when we're young, we're taught that police are there to serve and protect.
Yep.
When really they're even the nice ones, as good as they are, they're definitely less of a-holes, but there's still a-holes that are there to enforce and collect for the state. So this is something that you're talking about Parkland, and that's my home state. I forget a lot of the details. I should know more about it. Forgive me, but I do recall when that happened several months ago, the NRA spokeswoman lady, Dana something, and I believe it was the sheriff of that county. I don't think it was the officer himself, but basically this a-hole was being praised, this a-hole sheriff was being praised by all these stupid, mostly, hate to say, play the partisan, but leftist, young, dumb people of more gun control, more dissolution of our rights, and so forth. And I don't know, what do you guys think is sicker? Like the a-hole cops that lock people up for prostitution that does not hurt anybody, or drugs that don't hurt anybody, or run away, or the sycophantic, stupid general public that has, march to take away our rights, a.k.a. March for Our Lives? Who do you think is dumber and worse, guys?
You can make the same argument for horrific dictators throughout the ages. I don't really blame them. I don't blame Hitler. I blame the people who supported him.
He wouldn't have gotten anywhere if he didn't have people.
I blame the masses who support this nonsense. So it's just one cop, just one sheriff. I blame the hundreds, the thousands of people who support him being able to say, hey, we did what we could do, and we circle the wagons, thin blue line. Why do you guys hate us so much?
Yeah, it's a tough question for me to answer, Reb, because obviously the police are the ones that are doing the violence. They're the ones hurting the peaceful people. People can march all they want, and that's not going to put a prostitute in a jail cell. It's not going to put a drug user behind bars. It's not going to, as in this next story that we're going to tell you about, force a tube up a alleged drug user's rectum for a search on the part of the police. The demanding doctors do that to a man in Syracuse, New York. That's and then they billed him for it afterwards. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to really say which one is a worse group because they both work together. It's like Conan says, if people didn't tolerate this crap, then we wouldn't have it. So I can see both sides.
Yeah, and if there weren't people just doing their jobs, then horrible stuff wouldn't happen.
Right. That's the justification. I'll get off here because I know you guys have a show and other callers and stuff. But see, that's the funny thing is, like, if you think about, the Third Reich, and I come more from the extreme right, and I'm kind of pally with some of the alt-right guys, including one of your old friends there. But anyway, if you think about that, even the stuff that they did that I don't like a lot of the Third Reich, but it's like, imagine, even with the Sturmführer, with the Einsatzgruppen, SS officers, whatever, I mean, don't you think that at least some of those guys had some good qualities and were nice to their families and loved animals? So it's just funny how people will demonize anybody from the Third Reich doing what they could for their country, however good or bad it was. But with our police and military, it's just like, oh, no, they're saints and angels, So I just want to put that out there. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. So comparing the police to Nazis, basically, and saying, well, if people can see the problems with the Nazis, why can't they see it in their own country?
I thought he was trying to say that Nazis weren't that bad because they had puppies.
No, it's we see the evil everywhere else, but we can't see it in our own friggin' house. Our own household is just, we're good to go. Our leaders would never hurt us.
It's the best country in the world.
Yep.
855-450 free. There's a few bad apples, but, no big deal. It's Free Talk Live.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, poor vision. I wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract. From within a few days, I started sleeping better. My blood pressure normalized. My diabetes normalized. My sleep improved.
Experience these benefits and more when your body heals itself with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.66 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,248 per ounce. Zen is trading at $5, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,944. Antiwar.com reports a letter from President Donald Trump was given to the president of Kosovo, urging him to capitalize on this unique opportunity surrounding the creation of a military to reach a comprehensive peace with neighboring Serbia. NATO forcibly separated Kosovo from Serbia in a war in 1999 and has maintained that separation since. Serbia does not recognize Kosovo's independence, nor do some other nations. The creation of a Kosovo military backed by the U.S. has been opposed by Serbia and the rest of NATO as potentially provocative. Trump, however, is embracing it as a sign of progress, saying the U.S. has invested heavily in the success of Kosovo. In the letter, he also offered to play host to the Serbian and Kosovar presidents for the purpose of working on such a deal. Negotiating such a peace deal would be complicated. Kosovo's government is notoriously hostile to their ethnic Serbian minority, which lives on the Serbian border and wants to be part of Serbia. The U.S. and NATO, however, have opposed the idea of giving the border Serbs the right of self-determination, insisting they remain part of historical Kosovo and that Kosovo, while historically a Serbian province, remains independent. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports consumer advocate groups are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether child-friendly mobile games available in the Google Play Store violate privacy laws by building a profile of the children. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act prohibits the collection of geolocation data and other private information that could be sold to advertisers. The group of 22 consumer advocate groups filed a complaint with the FTC saying Google violates COPPA and its own policies with several of its games. Many of the games are targeted at preschool-aged children. Josh Golan, executive director of the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, said the business model for the Play Store's family section benefits advertisers, developers, and Google at the expense of children and parents. Google puts its seal of approval on apps that break the law, manipulate kids into watching ads, and making purchases. The complaint cites several examples of child-targeted games that access a phone's geolocation, including the apps Preschool Education Center and Top 28 Nursery Rhymes and Songs. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Senate on Tuesday overwhelmingly passed legislation long in the making and backed by President Donald Trump to reduce sentencing for certain prison inmates. By a vote of 87 to 12, the Republican-led Senate passed and sent to the House of Representatives the First Step Act, which would ease the way for some prisoners to win early release to halfway houses or home confinement. The legislation also aims to establish programs to head off repeat offenders and protect first-time nonviolent offenders from harsh mandatory minimum sentences. Earlier this year, the House passed a bipartisan bill focusing on prison reforms, which did not include the sentencing reforms. With little time left as Congress tries to wrap up its session this month, Senate proponents are hoping their broader version of the bill is accepted by the Republican-controlled House. Trump congratulated the Senate on passing the bill and said he looks forward to signing it into law. During Senate debate of the bill, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin noted that the United States has 5% of the world's population, but about 25% of the world's prisoners. He added that minorities bore the brunt of tough mandatory minimum sentences that judges have been directed to impose as a result of decades-old laws that have exploded the numbers of incarcerated people. In response to criticism from some conservatives that the legislation could prompt the release of violent criminals into society, the bipartisan measure was reworked to scale back the discretion judges would have in some sentencing cases. Before passing the bill, the Senate defeated amendments by Republican Senators Tom Cotton and John Kennedy that would have further tightened requirements. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
The military's newly developed unmanned Pentagon spokes drone completed its first live mission today, successfully carrying out a press conference on the war in Iraq. The Mobile Press Engagement Unit is being hailed by Pentagon officials as a revolutionary advancement in protecting military personnel.
The spokes drone proved effective at neutralizing reporters' questions about 85% of the time.
Many officials say the unit has the potential to save countless careers. Using a high-tech gimbal camera and microphone system, the unit tracks reporters' movements and audio output, then analyzes the data to assess the threat level.
It formulates and deploys an effectively vague response.
We have taken away a number of the enemy sanctuaries and gained initiatives in the areas. Eileen.
Military technology experts see the unit as adaptable to a wide variety of treacherous interview scenarios. They estimated it could even withstand situations too hostile for any human spokesman to bear, such as anti-war documentary interviews.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, hour number 2, where you can take control of the airwaves here and bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Not only do the police and other government agencies have no obligation whatsoever to protect you or provide you with any service whatsoever, but they also apparently can invade your body through your rectum.
Yeah, that's nothing new. There was the fairly, I think, well-covered story out of, was it New Mexico, like 4 or 5 years ago, where there was someone, and I will try not to go into graphic details, who several times was given diuretics to cause him to void his bowels. They then several times did internal cavity searches. I believe at least 2 or 3 times with a colonoscopy scope. And they still never found anything.
No drugs. Yeah. See, that was the story I was remembering, and I couldn't remember how long ago we talked about that. So I was wondering if this new story, which is basically the same story, was the same story? No, it's a different story because you're talking about somewhere else a few years back. This happened in late 2017. Story from Reason.com out of Syracuse, New York.
Before we get into that, the New Mexico man did wind up getting $1.6 million as a settlement for being anally violated multiple times.
And who paid for that, people?
The taxpayers.
The taxpayers.
I would say people like Sarah, but Sarah doesn't pay taxes.
Well, that's just one red light camera that you're not going to get, Sarah, because that money went elsewhere.
Well, one of the worst parts about these stories is they're done with the assistance of doctors in these hospitals. So it's not the cops that are shoving things in those places.
Right.
It's actual doctors who are doing them at the behest of the police.
And some of them have actually stepped up and said, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to take this person's blood.
Remember, there was the nurse in Utah that wound up getting in trouble and like getting arrested.
She got arrested.
Assaulted, thrown against a wall.
For not taking an unconscious man's blood.
Right. So I've got the story coming up here, but you mentioned Sarah. She's actually on the line right now. Sarah in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, I just want to, I'm excited that, in Scottsdale, Arizona, that there's self-driving cars delivering groceries.
Oh, yeah. I actually had that story in my show prep. These are completely automated vehicles that apparently don't even have humans in them.
Well, I mean, they could deliver like groceries, like canned food, because it's not live people. There's more liability if they're driving people around if something goes wrong.
Right.
So then you have to come out and get the groceries right away before the thieves steal it from the cars? Is that how?
All right. So, Ian, I'm not sure what source you have on this story.
AP.
I just pulled something up from the Chicago Tribune about this, where Kroger is testing delivery And it says that they're only doing deliveries during the test to a 1 mile radius around the supermarket.
Yeah, we were just talking about the Amazon glitter bombs. Now we're moving into whole new territory where your food shipment arrives in front of your house, but you take 5. You're in the shower. You take too long to get out to the car, and all the hoodlums in town run out there.
Homeless people are really happy.
They steal your groceries. So what do you do about that?
Well, I bet you there's going to be some sort of code that you'll have to put in,
right.
To unlock the thing and actually get your groceries. That way you're authorized.
The unmanned delivery vehicles will be followed by a shadow car driven by a person with the ability to stop or control it.
Well, for now. This is during the test
This is just
phase.
for the testing, right? Because
Yeah,
that would not be... this is just like the self-driving taxi, or not taxi cabs, but buses, where they have a stupid driver behind the wheel. It's like, why...
They have to. It's part of the legal process. They have to, for some period of time, have a human behind the wheel so they can take the wheel.
It sounded to me like when we talked about that story that that driver, safety driver, is always going to be there. So it's like, why not just give them a
No, they're going to get rid of them at some point.
Well,
once they can convince the government, Department of Transportation, pay them enough money, basically, to let this happen.
Right.
It'll happen.
Yeah, and the story that I have here doesn't specify how they're going to know that the person grabbing the groceries is the person that was supposed to get the groceries.
That's if they haven't already put some sort of system in to prevent unauthorized
I didn't say there's not a system.
Yeah,
I said the story from the Tribune
I'm just
doesn't
saying,
say.
if they haven't put it in yet, it's going to come soon because it won't be long before somebody's complaining about lost groceries.
Right.
And it could even be the person buying the groceries claiming, I never got them. Somebody took my groceries. I want my money back when they got their own groceries.
Right.
And there's probably going to be a camera on the thing. Go ahead.
Well, that's not like they're going to have cameras. I'm sure they're going to have code to
cameras
access
and codes. That's all they need.
Groceries.
Yeah.
I misspoke. It does say once the vehicle arrives, the customer will receive a code to punch into the door.
Told you.
So Sarah, are you
one-time
password when
thing.
the grocery delivery self-driving cars move in? Are you going to buy your groceries this way?
I would, but if I'm capable of doing it, I would prefer that.
So if the self-driving car takes food stamps, then you'll use the self-driving car?
If they have to have a smartphone. All I have is a dumb phone. You got to have computers and.
Yeah, she's not going to do all that crap. But it is cool technology, Sarah, and I thank you for calling about it tonight. It's one of the examples where Sarah is like on the ball. I mean, she's got a good story. I had this story in show prep tonight, and
this is one of the few times where Sarah calls in about a story where it's not 90% BS.
Yeah, it's a true statement.
I have such a hard time understanding. I deliver so much bull crap. I deliver paper towels.
You work for the post office
and
doing package delivery.
Basically, well, I work for both Amazon and the post office, and I just deliver a lot of nonsense. It's like, dude, people could have picked this up.
You said paper towels is like one of the biggest ones you do, right?
Dog food, paper towels, and yeah.
How much? I mean, I've never even looked into it. How much do you have to pay for paper?
This month, I think I've probably delivered like 30 Instapots.
What's that?
It's like a brand new. It's an electric pressure cooker. It's like it's the new rave.
It's like a super fancy crock pot.
I'm surprised you don't have a brand new one in the kitchen there that you just bought.
Like I've seen people. Yeah, Ian doesn't cook, but I've seen people say, here's a recipe for an Instapot cheesecake, and I'm like, how does the Instapot make the crust and then put the cheesecake stuff in the crust?
I don't know.
Well, the thing is that I shop.
Sounds like a cauldron.
I don't just shop at one store. I go all over. I have different stores that I buy different items, and I go in there cheap all the time. Well, I'm cheap, but I'm looking for deals. I mean, you have to go into the store, often
to know what the prices are
and look for deals. And you buy ahead. I have a big old monster freezer, so I mean, if I see a good deal, I'm going to fill that bad boy up.
Right.
And I just can't understand people who they live in this world where they don't look for deals. They don't care so much to go and to there's actual joy going into the stores and look at. I mean, how are you ever going to experience new ideas, new food ideas if you don't go to the store and walk down an aisle?
Because Amazon suggests things to me.
Yeah, I know. That's where we're.
You bought
that's where we're going.
An 8-pack of Bounty Select-A-Size paper towels for $16.99 on Amazon Prime. You might be interested in Charmin. People also bought Charmin when they buy Bounty.
Wait a minute.
Thanks, Bezos.
How many rolls for $16.99?
An 8-count.
My God, that's nothing. I mean, that's nothing. They're paying twice as much to get this thing delivered, and then plus shipping likely on that. On top of that,
well, it's free shipping on orders over whatever, or if you've got Amazon
Prime. How many times are people just getting just the one thing?
A lot of people have Amazon Prime. They get the free shipping.
Yeah. Well, the question is, what is a Prime membership these days for a year?
What, $12 a month or something like that?
It's $12 a month.
Yeah, so $100 a year. I think they cut you at 2 months free or something.
Yeah,
I
think I had definitely have some customers who are making out like champs with their Prime membership. They order enough stuff that it works for them. I wouldn't order enough stuff in a year to make it work.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go to Walmart or something like that, the same pack of paper towels is probably way cheaper than $17. I mean, I don't recall what I paid most recently.
That is pretty expensive. For an 8-count?
That's very expensive.
That's very expensive.
Yeah.
But but it's all about convenience.
Yeah, they're paying a premium for the convenience.
Yep.
Well, that's why convenience stores charge you more for the half gallon of milk. There's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live. When do you want to spot that burglar? When he's casing your home or after he's in? Ask John, whose Blink camera alerted him of burglars trying to break in while his family was home. Or Shannon, whose Blink camera caught a package thief. Blink motion-activated cameras are wire-free, set up in minutes, and run on 2 AA batteries that last up to 2 years. Save up to a whopping 40% off all outdoor XT and add-on cameras through December 22nd, while supplies last. Visit blinkprotect.com/holiday. blinkprotect.com/holiday.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose.
And here's Mike's best offer ever. My Pillow is now offering 50% off their 4-pack special plus free shipping. Go to mypillow.com or call 800-951-5617 and use promo code FTL. That's 50% off plus free shipping. Don't delay. Order now.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. Dial on in here toll free and bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
So we were talking, we're going to get into the awful cop story here in a moment, but we've detoured into this autonomous grocery delivery car story that apparently Kroger is experimenting with, one of the largest, apparently the largest grocery chain, according to the AP story about it, testing out an autonomous grocery delivery vehicle that is driverless. There's not even a driver that sits in the vehicle to kind of make sure everything goes okay. It's just a little buggy, basically, that goes from the store within a mile of the store at this point.
Yes.
That's the restriction.
But there is somebody driving behind in a shadow car that has the full ability to control the driverless car.
Yep, and that's what they're going to do while they're in their testing phase until it's finally approved by whatever likely Department of Transportation.
And looking at a picture, I don't know if the AP has a picture of this thing.
Yep, little buggy-looking thing.
Yeah, the Chicago Tribune's got a picture, and there's nowhere for a human to sit inside of this thing.
This is all groceries inside this thing.
Yes.
I wonder what they'll call it. They might call it buggy.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It looks like a little bug.
The Kroger car with 2 Ks.
Kroger bug.
So, Conan, you said you couldn't understand the kind of person who doesn't want to go and like...
They're calling it R1.
That's not very creative. But anyway, you said you couldn't understand the kind of person who doesn't want to go shop for the best deal, and that's what you do. You go to different stores. You have certain stores.
And it's not just getting deals. It's actually going and experiencing what else is available. You might see
by
something,
walking down an aisle.
You might see something that you have never tried before.
Yep.
And it's on sale, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and try that.
Well, this is the same thing as the old video stores, right? The video rental stores, where you'd walk down the aisle, you would see a video that you never would have otherwise spotted if it was an online thing.
And you got to get, and you got the 5-4 deal or whatever. And it's like you got to get one more move. Oh, you know what? This thing looks interesting. They did some good cover art on this. This must be good.
See, Conan, we must be old because we can understand this. So there's different levels. Let's stay in the grocery store example though for a moment. There's different levels of what you were talking about, right? So you will go to different stores because you know where you can get the best deals on certain things. So you'll go to different stores maybe in one day, shop at different stores.
Usually I'll hit 3 every time I go shopping.
Right. So I never do that. I've never done that in my entire life. For me, it's like I don't mind going to the store and having the shopping experience. Like I enjoy that, even though I'm not even a cook. Like I still like going down the aisles and seeing stuff and picking stuff out or whatever. That doesn't bother me at all. But I don't want to go spend a bunch of extra time. For me, time's worth something.
Right.
And so, yeah, you can get good deals if you spend enough time finding the right deals, knowing where to go, spending the time going to those places. But I'd rather just get it all done.
Well, and then there's the question of, all right, so you can save 75 cents by driving
across
to Target.
Town. Yeah.
Well, how much?
Yeah, if you're shopping at grocery store at Target, you've already messed up.
Yeah, true.
Well, I'm just pointing out that there are certain things that Target has that, say, the local grocery store charges an extra $1 for.
Right.
Is it really worth the time and the gas to then drive and deal with traffic?
If you're buying more than one item, it might be. You know, if you're buying $50 worth of...
Conan's going to like 3 or 4 different stores, how many things are you getting at each store?
Sometimes nothing. I've walked into a store and I've gone right to their reduced section or their meat section because I know that's what they specialize in, and realized no good
Nothing
deals
there.
today, and I walk right back out. 10 minutes of my life gone. But sometimes I'll walk out of there with a whole cart of stuff that goes right into the freezer, and then I'm hooked up. for the next 6 months.
Right. So you're not buying like a week's worth of groceries at a time.
It depends.
It depends. It could be.
You just said you buy 6 months worth of stuff.
It could be 3 days worth of food. It could be 6 months worth of food.
Depends on the prices. Depends on what's available. So I get what you're doing. For me, it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not worth my time.
But like you said, you don't cook either. So I mean, if that's kind of
I
key
think,
to this whole system.
I think the average person, they're only buying 1, maybe 2 weeks worth of groceries at a time. Doesn't matter how good the deal is, they're not going to buy 6 months worth of meat.
Right. Even if I did cook, though, Conan, I'd still just go to one store, just because to keep it simple.
Right.
I'm just going to get what I want. Unless there's something that's so outrageously priced and I just couldn't justify it, I'm just going to buy it.
And I know that there are certain things that I like from, say, Target, or certain things from Aldi, and maybe, Target didn't have the thing in stock. I know that Hannaford or someplace else does. If it's something that I really need or really want, then I will go to the other place. But otherwise, I'm not going to bounce between 2 or 3 different stores.
Or I'll go to Hannaford one week, shop there, and then the next time I'll go to Price Chopper and then get the thing that I wanted there. I won't do it all in the same day. But then there's the next level of, now one of the grocers here, Hannaford, has introduced where they'll pick the shop for you. They'll go and they'll you can. Yes, I don't know.
It's called Hannaford to Go. You order online. It's a $50 minimum.
Okay.
So you can't just say like, I need a bag of
candy.
spinach.
Yeah.
Nope, it's got to be $50 minimum.
They
pull all the stuff, bag it up.
Yep.
And then you just like go in and pick it up at the customer service counter.
You probably already paid online would be my guess. Either that or you pay at the counter, one or the other.
I think you pay online.
I would guess you'd pay online because they wouldn't want somebody to order a bunch of stuff and then not pay when they got there.
Never.
And they've actually got.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
So let me. I've never done it either.
But I know people who would do it.
But I know why.
It's all about convenience.
Yeah, it's about the convenience. And I got to say, I think it's a cool service to offer somebody because some people don't like the experience of going into the grocery store. Think about the things that you don't like about it, right? Like, I enjoy it because I like shopping. Standing in line. That's one of the worst parts about it.
Standing in line, somebody turning their buggy sideways, blocking the aisle that you need to get through.
Oh, I hate slow
Jammed lanes, right? Whether it be the buggies or the kids or the whatever it is you're trying to get through, you can't get through.
You meet Joe Blow. He wants to have a conversation with you now.
If you're in Keene, New Hampshire, you're going to do that.
And some people might be confused by the term buggy. Shopping cart.
No. They call them carriage here in New Hampshire. Carriages.
We both called them buggies. But there are some people. Yeah, you did.
I called this a buggy.
Buggies,
but there are some people that get confused by the term.
By the way, this
buggy.
is why you always wear your earbuds in both ears when you're in the store, so no one will stop you.
Well,
even if you're not listening or anything, just put your earbuds in.
Or you go to the 24-hour store where there's almost nobody there. That's the best thing about the 24-hour store.
And they really should change their name to the 24-hour store.
Yeah. And they're a little more pricey, supposedly, on some things. But I like, the convenience of going there at 3 a.m. when there's no one in the aisles except for the stock guy.
Just the vampires and the stock guys.
Yeah, that's no problem.
By the way, I did third shift for a good 2 years there.
Did you?
At Wally World.
Oh, at Wally World. I'm at Price Chopper, the grocery store.
You would meet. It was a Wally World, but it was a super.
Oh, you're talking about a
Walmart.
super center. Okay.
So they did have a grocery section, and you would meet the strangest people.
Oh, the overnight.
And they would be
customers.
They would be regulars too. They would always show up at a specific time during the evening, and they just had their own backstories.
Yeah,
They're just very strange night people.
So I get why somebody would not want to go to the grocery store. And if you can just go to this customer service counter, get all your groceries in one fell swoop and not have to spend half an hour walking up and down the aisles of the store and then waiting in line to check out, that's worth something.
Right.
It's worth whatever the fee is. And from what I understand, it's not that expensive. There's like, a $10 pick fee or something like that?
I don't know.
It's like a $50 minimum, but there's going to be a fee on top of that to perform the service. Because they got to have an employee go out and
just like there's a fee for delivery,
and then you're not hunting around looking for something. You don't have to ask where something is. So I totally get it. There's more coming up here in moments. Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free. Have you used one of these automated delivery systems? I mean, there's not that many of them out there yet, but they're coming.
They're growing.
Kroger Grocers is testing a driverless delivery vehicle for groceries. And we were just talking about kind of the different levels of interactions that people can have nowadays with grocery stores. You know, you can do the full-on super shopper, kind of what Conan does, going around checking the best deals, getting the best deals, going to different places all in the same day, or like I do, I just go to one place and get everything. And then there's the new level of where you can do an order online. And Darryl, you were actually just looking at some of the details. We were speculating, and we were wrong about a couple things on the order online, pick up at the store thing.
Yes.
Turns out the fee, at the very least at the Hannaford chain, which is it's part of a larger international company called Del Hayes. So there's different brands down in Florida. They opened up called Sweet Bay. Here they're called Hannaford. So there's different brands for different regions.
Right. So for the first order, the first time you use it, they waive the service fee.
Yep, first one's free.
Beyond that, a fee of $5 or less is charged depending on the amount of your order and your location.
That's cheap.
So you can use coupons. You pay when you get to the store.
That's a surprise.
And they load the things. So there's two options here. It says
depends on the store.
Not available in all locations. Right. As they load things into your car, you pay.
So if they
don't have the person loading in your car, you walk into like the customer service desk, and then you pay, and then you pick up your
They have
groceries.
a special counter in this one. Where you go. They've got a bunch of freezers or whatever.
Yeah. Place the order at least 4 hours before pickup, and then it's got the hours, and
bing, bang, boom. There you go.
Yeah, and I thought it was a $50 minimum because I had looked at this one time when it first rolled out, and it said...
It did have a minimum when it first...
$50 minimum, and now no minimum.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they have competition, at least in this area. I don't know if any of the other stores are offering it. So I'm surprised they took away the minimum, given that there's no competition in the area.
Yeah.
And so now we're looking at the next level of this. Instead of you having to go and pick it up, Kroger just going to ship it to you in their little buggy thing.
Let me ask this: what is really the difference between placing an order for food delivery to your house,
like a pizza? You mean?
Pizza, Chinese food, you name it.
Yep.
Or, I'll just get some groceries delivered to my house.
There's not a big
really
difference.
the difference?
You know what the next level is, don't you? You just push a button on your refrigerator, which is actually a food 3D printer, and it just prints out whatever you need. So you need another jug of milk?
Well, yeah, that's like Star Trek or whatever, right? The replicator.
Well, I mean, that's way too. That's way next level.
They already have fridges that you can order food from.
Oh yeah, I know that, but does your fridge actually print the food?
No, the next level isn't you telling the fridge what to print.
It knows.
Is the refrigerator knowing what you want to eat and making it for you.
Okay, so yeah, that's a little bit off into the future, but right now they do have.
You've got your Internet of Things refrigerators that know you have this much milk left.
Yeah, they know
and
somehow.
Then the refrigerator tells Alexa, order milk.
Order more milk.
Confirm.
Yeah. So now all you got to do...
Apologies for anybody whose Alexa actually ordered some milk.
Yeah, who knows what.
You shouldn't have an Alexa. Get rid of it.
So now all
Google.
Now all you got to do is walk out to the car, this little buggy from Kroger, and they're probably... That's one thing the car can't do, is it can't carry the groceries into the house for you.
Not yet. But
give it time.
Look at some of these robotics, these dogs walking around that...
Look, if you're a delivery driver, your days are numbered, because it's not just Kroger that's doing this. The last time, I don't know if it was the last time, but the last several times I've had a Domino's pizza on their box. It's a pretty busy box. They've always got like a lot of stuff to read on their box. It's a nice box. And on the box, there's a picture of a little car thingy that's an autonomous pizza delivery car. So Domino's is also testing this technology
here
as
in our
well.
town.
Ooh, wait until Domino's has the autonomous pizza delivery car that also has an oven and a robot that makes the pizza while it's being delivered.
I thought I've heard about this already. No, this is a real thing.
You think it's here in Keene?
No, not in Keene. But I mean,
it's a real thing. They're testing it.
Yeah, vehicle that makes pizzas.
Oh,
wow! It drives around, delivers them, and makes them.
That is as fresh as it gets, then, right?
Yes,
that's amazing.
Still dripping.
That's amazing. So hey, this is the future that we're living into.
Hopefully, we get to it,
and it paves the road while it delivers the pizza.
Well, the government's not going to like that.
Well,
Domino's is already paving roads, dude.
You didn't hear about that, did you? Did you hear about that?
I thought they were just patching holes.
Yeah, they're patching. They're fixing problems.
Okay, as long as they're just now, if they start taking away from public works,
Oh, well, they're dealing
That's
with
what
Public
they're
Works.
already kind of doing.
What they're doing is Domino's has a website. You can go in, type in your zip code, and sort of nominate your area. And then if they select your area, they will then go to the city government. They're not doing it without permission, sadly. I wish they were, because that would have been awesome. But, they're a corporation, so they're obedient. They go in to the city council or to the city manager, and they say, hey, we're going to give you guys $5,000 in road repair. We'll hire the contractors. Are you okay with it, basically? And so most of them apparently have been like, fine, sure, whatever. So they did.
Toyota and Pizza Hut are stupid ad are teaming up to make self-driving cars that could deliver pizza.
Wow. Too bad it's Pizza Hut.
And no, this is not the one that makes the pizza. Actually, it might.
I wonder who's doing that one. That's cool. It's a cool idea, and then I'm sure that's coming down the road too. So again, whether you are an Uber driver or you are a delivery driver for pizza or whatever, your days are numbered.
Yes, but I mean, you're just going to have to adapt, because there's always going to be guys needed to fix these Kroger buggies or these self-driving pizza delivery cars. There's always going to need someone on the other end who is able to fix any issues. But there's going to be a lot less people needed.
And to some extent, there has been some backlash, and maybe this backlash is going to go away as younger generations.
Oh, you mean like the boomers who are striking out against the self-checkouts?
That's what I was going to mention.
There's one individual here in our town, and every time I turn around, I follow this idiot just so I can see what he's up to.
Really?
And he is constantly, you need to boycott the self-checkout counters. They are evil. They are taking them jobs. And I'm like,
but Bending Rodriguez is fighting for 15.
I can't. I mean, that's the one reason.
So you've actually followed this person in real life and gone to a store and watched him complain about it?
I've never seen him in the store, but he posts stupid self-checkout.
You follow him online.
I follow him on the old Facebook that you don't have anything to do with.
Yeah.
You got to watch some of these guys.
No, I don't have to.
Conan, the pizza car with the oven, it's a warming oven, not an actual cooking oven. Domino's rolled it out in 2015.
I saw a
4 years.
I saw a vehicle that was making pizzas. I'm still trying to find it.
The Domino DXP Delivery Expert.
That's the thing I was talking about.
Was a modified Chevy Spark, tricked out with a warming oven and space for 80 pizzas, sides, 2-liter bottles of soda, and dipping sauces.
Now, how do you do that one? So, it's one thing if you've got the grocery car where you have to punch in a code to get access to just your groceries.
This has a driver's seat. So there's a person that drives this car.
Okay, this is before than what they're doing now. Because now they actually, from what I understand, just looking at the box of pizza that they will give you, they have an autonomous pizza delivery vehicle. So I'm curious as to how they do that. If that's got multiple pizzas in it for multiple different locations, do they have different boxes with different codes on, or different compartments with different codes? I'm just curious as to how they're working that. This is something you're going to see more of. When I was in Texas,
I mean, look how the post office does it. They have different cubicles.
The P.O. boxes?
And you'll have your key, you'll have an entry key, and you can only open the one cubicle that is your cubicle with your pizza in it.
Well, there's even the thing, if you place an order, and I realize this is going to trigger Conan, place an order on the Home Depot website for some items, and it's a small item, they put it in a little locker, you get a code sent to you via email, you go punch it in, and then your locker opens.
Why am I triggered? Because I didn't get to deliver it?
I had no idea they had
No, because you can place an order online and you hate that.
They have that here?
No, I don't.
Yes.
Wow, I have no
I buy stuff online all the time.
Yeah, there's more
but
coming
not
up here.
From stores.
In moments, 8:55, 450, free like freedom. This is Free Talk Live.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. convictions. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid-rich, full-spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. Our number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Maybe you want to weigh in on this new technology that is changing the way a lot of people shop. I was in Texas for the Texas Bitcoin conference, and a young lady who I'd known from a previous conference said that it was the first time in like a month she had left her house, because she's using these new services where she can have like all her groceries.
Grubhub.
Yeah, Grubhub.
Instacart.
Right.
Oh, that's something else that Conan's going to hate.
This is horrible. You know what this is? You know what this is creating? The whole society of Morlocks.
What's that?
The time machine, the guys that live underground. And they,
I've heard of them.
Then you have the Inuoi.
I never saw the movie.
Yeah, it's
an
interesting dystopia, and you got these people who live underground and they feed off of the I can't remember the name of the blonde Aryan types that live upstairs, and they they get fat and eat all day long and have sex, and then the Morlocks come out in the night and they eat one.
Wow.
It's very very dystopian.
So
this is kind of the same thing. You got people who's living in their apartments and they're all shacked up, and
those would be the fat types, not the Morlocks, the people in the apartments.
The Morlocks are the ones who feed off of the fat ones, which will be the delivery guy.
Well, the delivery guy might get some exercise doing some delivery.
And sunshine.
Yeah.
Vitamin whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, she didn't have to order any food, or she didn't have to go and get any food. She never had to leave her apartment. And this is going to lead to even more insulation, right, between humans, because we've already got this phone society where people spend so much time on their devices, and now they don't even have to go and physically go to the grocery store to even have any of the most rudimentary encounter with a cashier. Not only is it just automated checkout, but automated delivery, automated everything at this point.
And this person that you're talking about, they work from home.
Yes.
Where not everybody does that. So, most people are at least, like leaving their house to go to work. They might not be interacting with anybody outside of work.
She doesn't work from home. She actually is an artist, but she didn't need to go out, I guess, for that month.
Right.
So she didn't. And I just thought that was interesting. It's like, wow, this is a different world that is changing.
Some people,
quickly.
They don't like. For example, I force myself to do certain things to get out there and actually meet people and get some sunshine. Otherwise, I would do just this.
The same thing.
I would just stay indoors or stay on my property. I wouldn't go anywhere, and I force myself. I do certain jobs that wake me up in the morning, and I have to go out there and interact with people and to make a couple of bucks. Otherwise, that I would otherwise be making in other ways that don't require talking to people, at least face to face. So I can understand this person.
If you want to join the discussion, you're welcome to do so. What are some of the other developments that you're seeing in automation that's going to change the face of an industry? Of course, truckers are in jeopardy, I think, of being replaced at some point by robots. And I did mention the pushback.
They took my horse and buggy.
I did mention the pushback. There have been some companies that have reduced the self-checkouts and or eliminated them because I believe there's been enough pushback from some people to say they still wanted to have that human interaction. Even though it's the most basic of rudimentary interactions, you never really get much of a deep conversation with the person who's checking your groceries out. You can do...
And they're slow. They're so slow, and you only have a couple of
items. Frequently will help. If
Dude, have you ever been to Aldi? They check you out. They
stop. That's where I was going. Aldi's is the future. Their model. It's so that's convenient.
That's where you do your own bagging, right?
You do your own bag. You take your own bags.
Yeah.
You do your own bagging.
You don't have to take your own bags. You can grab. Hold on. You don't even have to buy a bag. You can
buy a box. There's a box.
Just take one of their boxes.
The leftover boxes.
You're actually helping them out, so that's a box they don't have to worry about.
They put the cardboard boxes in a big giant metal container that they want people to take.
Put your groceries in them.
Yeah, and
put your groceries in them.
The problem is, Darryl, Aldi's has been here how many years? 2 years at least? And people still haven't figured that out. They're still buying bags, and I'm just shaking my head. I got my box, full of stuff, and I'm like, look, I kind of point to my box. It's like, look, there's a whole friggin' stack of them over there. Just go buy. You don't have to buy the 7-cent bag. Come on, man.
Ian, you were talking about the robots taking over factory jobs. You heard the story about the factory worker that was attacked by a robot.
I did not hear that story.
You mean the one that was all stabbed up with...
Sputnik News has the story of a 49-year-old Chinese man who was rushed to a hospital after a terrifying accident in Hunan province.
Oh, my God.
He was repeatedly pierced by 10-foot-long, half-inch metal spikes after a robotic arm fell on him, according to the People's Daily Online.
So it wasn't the Terminator that was becoming sentient and deciding to overthrow the...
Six of the rods sliced into his right shoulder and chest, while 4 others pierced other parts of his body. He was immediately rushed to a hospital, with doctors saying that one of the spikes missed an artery by 0.04 inches.
Wow.
Which is 0.1 centimeters for those on the metric system. It said that the accident occurred last Tuesday when he was working a night shift. Wu Panfing, an associate professor of hand microsurgery, said they were relatively big, so there was no means of fitting the patient into the x-ray machine, while the nails themselves could have caused interference with the x-rays. He was listed as stable, being in stable condition and able to move his right arm, although he will need treatment and physiotherapy to fully recover.
And of course, the next day, the technicians are opening up the BIOS of this machine and like trying to figure out what actually happened. And it's like, bad man was trying to change my protocols. Must defend. And then, of course, that's where it gets.
Yet.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
We're not there yet. So, all right. So if you want to comment, you're welcome to do so. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. The robot police have not come onto the scene yet, and as a result of that, we have human police.
Unless you consider drones to be a fixture of the new robot police.
Well, actually, there was a story out of India about a robot, a police robot that they've introduced there. So it is already becoming a thing. I don't have that story.
And it's not like a bomb sniffer robot or something. It's actually a robot that patrols her.
I'll have to pull up the story, Conan.
Hold on. Robots. Did you say Russia?
India.
Okay. Because there was the story a couple days ago about a high-tech robot on display at some tech thing in Russia. Turned out it was just some guy in a suit.
Yes. It's a total scam.
You're like, here is high-tech robot.
This is your moon landing phase 2.
Some guy in a suit.
The whole thing is a scam.
The story here is from Hyderabad, which is where they have a police robot. The Indian city has been looking for different ways to merge police duties with robots in a convenient and meaningful manner. Dubai police officials introduced the first robot police officer in May of 2017. It's a very simplistic unit which accommodates very basic tasks. For Hyderabad, the goal was to take that idea to a new level. As such, their first smart policing robot is known as RoboCop. That name is aptly chosen, although it will undoubtedly draw parallels to the Hollywood movie franchise. The unit can move, recognize people, take complaints, detect bombs, and answer to queries. The robot has built-in cameras, GPS, sensors, and so forth. The exact trial period of the police robot remains unclear at this time. Although it will patrol the streets of Hyderabad, it is a bit unclear what the team hopes to achieve in doing so.
And
I'm curious.
Another thing it might do? It might run into a building with an active shooter and actually start protecting people.
I'm curious what
and I love that they're calling it a smart police. That's great.
Well, what happens if somebody asks, RoboCop, am I free to go? Am I being detained?
RoboCop or the other machine? The bigger one. You have 30 seconds to comply.
This one's called RoboCop, is what they're calling it.
What? They can't do that.
They can in India.
They can do whatever they want to.
They're in India. I just realized they can do whatever they want.
They might get a cease and desist from Warner Brothers or whatever movie theater it was.
They're probably, let's rub it in. We'll call them smart police and we'll call it RoboCop.
Is it Hyderabad or Hyderabad? I think they misspelled the city. I think it's Hyderabad. Hyderabad. There's not a whole lot of information about this robot. I haven't even yet actually found a photograph of it. So, those things are coming, though. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Let's go to Samantha in New York. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Samantha.
Hi. I called to talk about the groceries and all that.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm in upstate New York, Rochester area, and we have Instacart and all that stuff, but we just recently got, within the last few months, the Walmart grocery.
Ah.
Meaning you got a Walmart. Wait. Meaning you got a Walmart with a grocery department, or what is Walmart grocery?
Walmart grocery itself is where you can order your groceries online, and then, which I know your co-host there will hate. But
stand by, Samantha. I want you to tell me more. Hang on. I want you to tell me more if you can. We'll bring you back in hour 3. It's Free Talk Live.
Trading involves financial risk. It is not suitable for all investors.
Marijuana has unleashed a green gold rush across our nation. It's creating $10.8 billion in new wealth a year. And every day, it's transforming more and more Americans into millionaires. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner reveals how you could become one of them. Join him online for the American Cannabis Summit. Attendance is 100% free, but space is limited. Join online at www.acs2018.com. FreedomFeens.com. John Boehner and an esteemed panel will reveal which cannabis stocks are primed to deliver life-changing windfalls. Plus, they will show you how to become a cannabis angel investor, backing the hottest startups before they potentially become worth billions of dollars.
To join the American Cannabis Summit, visit acs2018.com or text JOIN to 76280. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Text JOIN to 76280. Text JOIN to 76280 now.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.66 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,248 per ounce. Zen is trading at $5, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,944. Antiwar.com reports a letter from President Donald Trump was given to the president of Kosovo, urging him to capitalize on this unique opportunity surrounding the creation of a military to reach a comprehensive peace with neighboring Serbia. NATO forcibly separated Kosovo from Serbia in a war in 1999 and has maintained that separation since. Serbia does not recognize Kosovo's independence, nor do some other nations. The creation of a Kosovo military backed by the U.S. has been opposed by Serbia and the rest of NATO as potentially provocative. Trump, however, is embracing it as a sign of progress, saying the U.S. has invested heavily in the success of Kosovo. In the letter, he also offered to play host to the Serbian and Kosovar presidents for the purpose of working on such a deal. Negotiating such a peace deal would be complicated. Kosovo's government is notoriously hostile to their ethnic Serbian minority, which lives on the Serbian border and wants to be part of Serbia. The U.S. and NATO, however, have opposed the idea of giving the border Serbs the right of self-determination, insisting they remain part of historical Kosovo and that Kosovo, while historically a Serbian province, remains independent. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports consumer advocate groups are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether child-friendly mobile games available in the Google Play Store violate privacy laws by building a profile of the children. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act prohibits the collection of geolocation data and other private information that could be sold to advertisers. The group of 22 consumer advocate groups filed a complaint with the FTC saying Google violates COPPA and its own policies with several of its games. Many of the games are targeted at preschool-aged children. Josh Golan, executive director of the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, said the business model for the Play Store's family section benefits advertisers, developers, and Google at the expense of children and parents. Google puts its seal of approval on apps that break the law, manipulate kids into watching ads, and making purchases. The complaint cites several examples of child-targeted games that access a phone's geolocation, including the apps Preschool Education Center and Top 28 Nursery Rhymes and Songs. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Senate on Tuesday overwhelmingly passed legislation long in the making and backed by President Donald Trump to reduce sentencing for certain prison inmates. By a vote of 87-12, the Republican-led Senate passed and sent to the House of Representatives the First Step Act, which would ease the way for some prisoners to win early release to halfway houses or home confinement. The legislation also aims to establish programs to head off repeat offenders and protect first-time nonviolent offenders from harsh mandatory minimum sentences. Earlier this year, the House passed a bipartisan bill focusing on prison reforms, which did not include the sentencing reforms. With little time left as Congress tries to wrap up its session this month, Senate proponents are hoping their broader version of the bill is accepted by the Republican-controlled House. Trump congratulated the Senate on passing the bill and said he looks forward to signing it into law. During Senate debate of the bill, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin noted that the United States has 5% of the world's population, but about 25% of the world's prisoners. He added that minorities bore the brunt of tough mandatory minimum sentences that judges have been directed to impose as a result of decades-old laws that have exploded the numbers of incarcerated people. In response to criticism from some conservatives that the legislation could prompt the release of violent criminals into society, the bipartisan measure was reworked to scale back the discretion judges would have in some sentencing cases. Before passing the bill, the Senate defeated amendments by Republican Senators Tom Cotton and John Kennedy that would have further tightened requirements. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
According to members of the 1998 University of Virginia graduating class, Governor Jim Gilmore's commencement speech to them continues to be a deep well of wisdom and guidance even 15 years after it was delivered. Classmates confirmed that while friends at other universities heard from such figures as Jimmy Carter, Kurt Vonnegut, and the Dalai Lama, the inspirational words of Virginia's 68th governor continues to profoundly inform their lives and actions.
Whenever I face a dark moment in my life, I just think back to Governor Gilmore's speech, and it almost instantly puts things back into perspective. It's like he said, go forward and be successful and achieve your hopes and dreams and aspirations. All I can say is I hope I've lived up to that incredible lesson.
And in local news, a 5-year-old figures he has about a year left of peeing at urinals with his pants all the way down. In other news, using the amount of toothpaste shown in commercials is a disgusting experience. A grizzled proofreader has seen it written both ways, and a cackling Warren Buffett burns his entire fortune in front of the nation.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want by dialing in toll-free here. Take control of the airwaves at 855-450-FREE. It's 855-450-3733. We've been talking about, we kind of just got onto the subject. I think somebody called in about, actually, it was Sarah. So we were talking about police abuse. Sarah called in about the automated grocery delivery cars that Kroger is testing out right now in, I think it was the Scottsdale market. And that led into an hour-long conversation, basically, about all the various different automation, sort of the customer retail experience and how it's changing because of automation.
Evolving.
Yeah. Well, some would say it's devolving.
Devolving, exactly.
But it depends. I mean, it just depends on your perspective. I think some of them are very interesting, developments. The idea that you can have your groceries delivered to your home now, or you can have somebody at the store pick them and you can go pick them up without having to walk around the store and get them. Of course, there's also automated checkouts, and there's so much, so many different ways automation is changing the way retail works. Darryl, you said there's automated lockers at Home Depot now. Yeah. So if you order online, you can just go in and grab your stuff without even having to go to the customer service counter. So they're making things more efficient. They're making it so people can do less work to get the things that they want. But on the other hand, that means that you can basically stay inside your house all the time and you don't ever have to actually see another human being, basically. So that's not necessarily a good thing. But then again, more efficiency is also a good thing. So these are inevitabilities. And, even though there's been some pushback against automated checkouts and such, I think they're here to stay.
It allows you to get back to your house that much quicker so you can talk to your online family.
So let's go to Samantha.
Get back on the internet.
She's on the line with us here in New York. You said in the Rochester, New York area, there's a new feature that Walmart's rolled out called Walmart Grocery. You had just begun kind of describing it so far. Go ahead. What was? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so basically you order your stuff, you go to walmart.com, there's a grocery tab, you click on that, you sign into your account if you have one or make one, and you go ahead and you purchase, you pick all your groceries and you check out, and then you go and you drive to the store and someone comes out to you and helps you load your car and packs all your groceries in
How
your
do they
car.
know you're waiting outside? Do you have to indicate on an app or something?
I'm not exactly sure how it works specifically because I myself haven't gotten a chance to use it yet.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that I bargain shop. I go to 5 different stores in the same day.
Yep.
But having a 2-year-old, that's getting really annoying.
I bet.
And I'm also one of those people that I go in the store and I get every single deal I see. So everything I buy is maybe something on a discount, but I always spend way more money than I have to. And buy
because of
food that
impulse
I
buying, you
really
mean?
shouldn't be eating.
When you're saying you're spending more money than you have to, is because you have things that you need to get, but then you get things that you don't need because you're there and you see them?
Right. I don't need them right now, but they're on discount. So let me just get it because I might need it later. And then it sits in my house and I never use it.
Yep.
If I go online and I buy just what I need, I can just go there, not even go in the store, not even see anything. And
That's an interesting point.
I'm looking at the grocery.walmart.com, and some of these prices are actually decent. Some of them are not. But some of them are decent. But I could see because Amazon actually has a strategy to get impulse buyers. But I'm looking at the Walmart site here, and I don't see how they can get you. So if you only order what you need, it could actually work.
That's going to hurt them.
It could actually work to your benefit. Here's how Amazon gets you. By the way, it's that free shipping.
You have to add in.
So you only buy a $20 item.
But then you got to buy an extra.
But you got to buy some more stuff to get the free shipping, and so now you buy something that you didn't need.
Yep.
But down at the bottom it says people that bought this also bought all of these other things.
Unless you do what I do, and I always have my wish list of stuff that I need, like packaging material.
But you don't need it urgently.
I don't need it urgently, so I just stick it in there.
So it's a filler.
So if I need a filler to get me over that 45 or that 30, because they're always changing the amount to get the free shipping.
They're increasing it over time.
But
remember when it was $25? For the free shipping?
For a little while, yeah. It was kind of...
For a long time, it was $25 for free shipping.
But no, they actually took it back to $25 for...
Did they really?
I think it was like a holiday thing.
Wow.
But yeah, but I don't know how Walmart's going to get you. I mean, they need to work on their game.
Yeah, that's interesting, Samantha, because if you think about it, impulse buying at grocery stores is a huge portion of their business, right? Like the idea that that's part of the fun of going there in real life is you see things you didn't think about.
Well, I'm seeing on this grocery.walmart.com, and it's not available in Keene where we live. It is available an hour north of here because we don't have a Walmart grocery store.
Because Keene City Council sucks.
$30 minimum.
Yes.
So if you only need $10 worth of stuff, but you want to place this online, all right, well, you've got to order extra stuff. So that might be where they, quote unquote, get you.
Yeah, but it's still not the same as, sitting at the checkout while you're waiting in line. You grab the bag of beef jerky, grab a pack of lighters, or whatever it is that you
doesn't work on me. I won't even look at that stuff.
For me, it's junk food.
Yeah.
Junk food is so bad. I'm obese. I don't need the junk food. I don't need any of that stuff. Yeah. And so I go down the aisle and I'm like, oh well, I haven't had that in a while. Let me just grab it and stick it in the cart.
Mm-hmm.
I have such a hard time not spending more or less than $100.
So the online prevents you...
Even if I only need 5 things.
So the online shopping is actually helping you avoid buying things that you didn't need.
She hasn't tried it yet. I think she's thinking about it.
No, I've been thinking about trying it. Like I said, it just came, and every time I think of stuff that I need, I just go to the store because... That's just it's the thing I've always done.
Yeah, it's a habit.
Yeah, it's just a habit.
It does sound like it might be worth a try. I mean, especially if it's frustrating to have to pack the 2-year-old up and grab them and take them down the aisles and all that.
Well, this would just be like hiring like a food trainer who goes and buys your food and then prepares the meals for you, and you only get to eat good, nutritious, healthy meals prepared by someone else.
It's called a personal chef.
And you don't get the opportunity to go and to to see what else is out there. This could be kind of...
You know what, though? I actually have a subscription called Dinnerly. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but
I have heard of it.
Yeah, it's like $38, and you get I pay $38. That's including shipping, and I get 3 dinners for 2. So me and my boyfriend can eat 3 dinners a week for just under $40.
Okay.
And it gives you everything that you need except for maybe like eggs or like cooking oil or salt and pepper, like small stuff like that.
I've heard about these things. And Johnny Ray,
all the directions.
Step-by-step directions. And, if you think about it, is the portion size good or is it skimpy?
It's not like I thought it would be skimpy because it's one of the cheaper ones, but they give you all organic ingredients, and on top of that, they give you a pretty decent portion. Like, I overeat 90% of the time, so when I say it's a pretty decent portion, it's a pretty decent portion. Yeah.
And I'm on the website right now.
Never finishes his dinner. He almost never finishes it.
I'm on the website right now, and under how much does it cost? $4.99 per adult size serving. So they also mention about kids. So, obviously the kids' price would be cheaper. So you tell them how many meals you need for how many adults, and they calculate.
But then you get the exact amount of the food, and you don't have a bunch of extra stuff that maybe you didn't need for the recipe, and then it just sits there or whatever.
Right.
So it's more efficient in
and
that
then,
way.
And the beauty of it,
if you want to skip a week, you can.
Spend less than 40 minutes cooking the meal.
Mm-hmm.
So it only takes you 40 minutes. I mean, unless you take a really long to prep for it,
right.
It only takes 40 minutes to cook the meal. So it helps a lot when people just don't have time, like me.
Right.
And I'm trying to cook more because it's healthier than going out and eating out.
And cheaper.
It's less expensive.
And cheaper.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. I mean, if you're getting 3 meals for $40, 3 meals for 2 for $40 in a week, I mean, you can blow $40 easily on one restaurant in one night for 2 people, easily.
And I'm looking at some of the
and then you got a
meals.
And tip, yeah.
So some of the meals that you can get for next week: chicken and egg burger, fork and knife meatball parmesan, seared sausages, and they've mentioned sides on here. Sticky, crispy chicken
the
with
hell is a chicken and egg burger?
Rice pilaf.
Go back to that picture.
It's a chicken sandwich.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate the info. Appreciate
with a fried egg.
Thoughts. Let us know how that Walmart thing goes if you ever try it out. Curious to see how that works out for you. And by the way, if you do shop at Walmart, we've got a link.
We do.
Walmart.freetalklive.com. So if you're doing your Christmas shopping, last-minute Christmas shopping, we don't mention it very often. Maybe we should. Walmart.freetalklive.com. Free Talk Live will get a very small portion of your purchase price.
And I might deliver it.
Free Talk Live.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block, and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dinovite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies, grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dinovite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic.
And Cindy Lukasevic.
Inviting you and your pets to Dinovite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses on the setup page, and then load the app. That's it. you're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at anypay.global. anypay.global.
Friends of local man Carl Brewster told reporters this week they are all absolutely at a loss as to how he is not completely depressed.
I've known Carl for years now, and he really is a great guy, super nice. But honestly, I don't know how he doesn't go home and cry himself to sleep every night. I mean, he walks dogs for a living and no one will ever date him. I really don't get it.
Saying that they were baffled at how their close friend managed to remain even moderately happy day in and day out given his life circumstances, sources confirmed they were regularly confronted with Carl's perplexingly gregarious and affable demeanor.
I mean, Carl's life really, really sucks, but somehow he manages to wave good morning to me every time I see him, and he always has this big smile on his face. Maybe he's on some kind of medication.
Things have always been really awful for Carl, but he's never really been depressed. I mean, I make 3 times as much money as him, and I'm totally miserable. Honestly, we all thought he would have killed himself by now, but he hasn't.
This is the Onion News Network.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Still to come, the outrageous story of a man who was violated in the worst possible way by the police because they thought he had drugs. With you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
By the way, if you are still in the real-life, real-world retail experience, if you've got an actual shop with a cash register with a checkout area that people buy things at and you want to take cryptocurrency there, get yourself on over to anypay.global and get started with AnyPay. And when I say get started, well, you're almost done once you start because it's not a very long process. You just create a username and password, and then you're in. And then you put your cryptocurrency wallet addresses in the settings page, and then you load the app on your device at your register. And that's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency. I was at Taco Biondo today in Hillsborough, New Hampshire, which is a wonderful little taco shop in a tiny little town in New Hampshire. And
authentic, American.
It's as good of tacos as you can get in New Hampshire.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with
most of them suck.
our taco restaurant here in Keene.
Most of the tacos in Keene are just awful. But this is actually really good tacos.
Interesting.
And the burrito actually is humongous and fantastic. But I'm not here to review Taco Biondo because you can't. If you don't live in the Hillsborough area, you can't go. But the point I was going to bring up is they've got AnyPay. And so I was able to pay with cryptocurrency. But unfortunately, they dropped the ball and they hadn't informed their new cashier as to how to use the AnyPay system. Luckily, it's so easy.
Luckily, you're Ian and you know how to do it. So
anybody who's
got behind the counter with him and pushed all the right buttons.
I didn't have to push any buttons. I just showed her the app and I said, "Here's what you do." And then it's very simple. I mean, it doesn't take a long time to learn the AnyPay system. There's a PIN pad. You punch in the amount. Even the most dull cashier can run AnyPay. And the nice thing is, if your cashier's not even bright enough to give back correct change, well, this solves that problem because with cryptocurrency, Cashiers don't have to make change. How many of you have had that problem where you've been at a counter and the cashier counts the money back and they miscount it, and they're probably not doing it on purpose. They're probably not trying to shortchange you. Sometimes they'll give you more than what you actually should get back. Sometimes they'll give you less. They just,
Hey, thanks, government education.
Yeah. They're trying their best. With AnyPay, you don't have that problem because cryptocurrency, as long as they punch the amount in correctly in the first place, you're good to go. And, of course, the customer can always verify it on their end with their wallet. But get over to anypay.global, get signed up. You can accept Bitcoin, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, and others. Anypay.global. And, by the way, it's free for merchants, so there's no reason not to do this. If you want to take crypto, that's the place to go. Anypay.global. Let's go to David in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Conan, and Darryl.
Yeah, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Responding to Darryl and Ian, both you guys posed some questions that didn't get fully answered the other day, so let me address that now. And in talking about your police issue, something that Ian, you were talking about the other night, let me repeat something I said on your program years ago. I lived in Switzerland for a year a while back. And I was living there with a girlfriend who was from Switzerland. She was from a particular region of Switzerland. I don't know if this is the same all over, but I think it's more common in Europe than it is here. And what she told me is when cops get out of line over there, which they don't, because the cop knows, and all the people know, that if a cop gets out of a line, that what's going to happen is some dark evening, about 4, 5, 6, 8 guys are going to find him, and they're going to beat the crap out of him. They're not going to put him in a hospital, but they're going to beat the crap out of him. And the cop's not going to say anything about it. He's going to take the beating, and he's going to take it as a lesson. And nobody's going to go hunting for the people that beat up the cop because the cop deserved it.
Dave, how many years ago was this?
I lived there in the late 90s. Or mid-90s, late 90s.
It sounds so unbelievable what you're talking about, that could even be something that could happen.
Well, you wouldn't think of it as unbelievable if you actually went over there and lived as a local. The United States is completely out of line. Having lived here and having lived there, and as much mocking as Europe gets, they take a lot less crap than we take over here in regard to this. Here in America, the people are just bending over and taking it from their authorities. Over there, they got a lot of.
I've got a story where that literally happens. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry about that. There's problems everywhere. There's holes everywhere, and in different ways. And they got their problems over there. Their problems are just different than ours.
Right.
The problem that they don't have over there is with these rogue cops like we have that will do things like what you just referred to or anything else. Because, it only happens to a degree, and then the soccer hooligan phenomena will happen.
Interesting.
The mob will come after you if you're the government, if you're in power, and you get out of line, especially if you're a rogue cop getting out of line, which is what we're talking about.
Huh.
You're gonna get beat up. They don't take that crap, whereas we do. We don't think that we do, but we do. There's a night and day difference between what I experienced here versus what I experiensed over there.
Yeah, here sometimes people will riot and destroy property that has nothing to do with the police.
Right.
But that's about as bad as it
they will go. They don't riot and destroy. That happens too, but they will go after the dude, and he will get the crap beat out of him. And like I said, the cops know that, and so therefore they don't do that. Yeah, they don't do that. So anyway, enough of that. But let me address Darryl. One question or comment that you had made. This KUNM, University of New Mexico radio station, regarding public access. The program Let's Talk New Mexico that got me arrested for attempting to call them, it's not a public access kind of thing, volunteer kind of thing. It's a professionally produced, professionally directed, meaning they have paid professional staff that are paid with taxpayer dollars.
And you're saying because it's taxpayer funded, it ought to be open to anybody who wants to
I just
call.
know that the college here has a radio station that they let basically anybody take an hour and do a show. That doesn't mean that the host, even though it's a professional radio station that has bumpers and an FCC license, that doesn't mean that every host is a paid employee.
But you're saying these hosts on this station are paid, David?
A couple different levels. On this radio program in particular, Let's Talk New Mexico, which used to be KUNM call-in show, they are not volunteers. The only volunteers there, they do have volunteers that work for the professional producer.
It's an interesting argument. Thank you for the call tonight. Basically saying that he shouldn't be able to be prohibited from calling a show that's taxpayer funded. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. More coming up here in moments. Your call's welcome. It's Free Talk Live.
Want revenge on the common housefly? Well, after 10,000 years, someone has finally come up with a better way. The Bug Assault, a miniaturized shotgun, which utilizes ordinary table salt as ammunition. Non-toxic and no batteries required. So much fun, you'll forget you have a wife and kids. Makes the perfect stocking stuffer. Get your Bug Assault today and save $10 on the Bug Beam Laser Combo, only at bugassault.com.
We know you've had Dragon's Breath in the morning, but you've got to experience Dragon's Breath at night. Wolf Hill Ammo's Dragon's Breath, an incendiary shotgun round in 12 gauge, 20 gauge, and a 410 with an amazing muzzle flash and a fireball that launches up to 125 yards. Pure fun to shoot. At Wolf Hill Ammo, we love shotguns and offer the best specialty shotgun ammo on the market. Visit wolfhillammo.com to see our large selection of specialty shotgun ammo at great prices with flat rate shipping. wolfhillammo.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Fact. The new NSA data center in Utah requires 1.7 million gallons of water every single day to operate. Billions of Fourth Amendment violations need massive computers and the water to cool them. That water is being supplied by the state of Utah. Fact. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution which requires your state to help the feds violate your rights. Our message to Utah: turn it water equals no NSA data center. Visit offnow.org.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, dial toll free and join us here. Our number 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. The Discord on-air call-in lines are also open and available to you. So go to discord.lrn.fm. You'll find them there. They're the top 4 rooms in the chat server at discord.lrn.fm. Just jump into one of them. We'll find you there and join you, and you'll be on the air with us. And the us is me, Ian.
And Conan.
And Darryl.
Anarchapulco is less than 2 months from now, February 14th through the 17th. It's coming up, and it's going to be here before you know it. So you should probably get your tickets sooner rather than later. I don't know what the status of how close they are to sell out is, because I know it was late October when I ran into Jeff Berwick from Anarchapulco at the Texas Bitcoin Conference, and he told me they were 2/3 of the way sold out at that point. So it's getting close, I would imagine. You want to grab your tickets at a discount. Use code FTL over at anarchapulco.com. This is the premier convention, the premier gathering of free thinkers, voluntarists, libertarians, and ANCAPs in Acapulco. It's a great international event. People come from all over the world, not just the speakers, including Ron Paul and Judge Napolitano and dozens more, talking about so many topics: entrepreneurship, investments, politics, philosophy, health, sustainability, lifestyles, and personal relationships for 4 days among the sun and beaches of a world-class resort, but also the thousands of attendees that will be there. It was a sold-out event in 2018 with 1,700 attendees. They can have as many as 3,000 in 2019, so you're going to want to grab your tickets and meet us there. Free Talk Live will be broadcasting from the event. We'll look forward to seeing you. Anarchapulco.com. Use code FTL.
You know, the last caller, Dave, brought up a very interesting point.
Yeah.
The differences between our country and some European countries with the treatment of our the king's men,
the police,
which is basically how they're treated. They are almost royalty because they're protecting and serving and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, if this is actually true, if actually that's how they handle their police in Switzerland. Was it Switzerland or Sweden? Where they were actually the good old boys.
He said Switzerland.
And when I say good old boys, I mean the actual,
He said soccer hooligans will beat up a bad cop, basically, was his claim.
Correct. And then you look at how we treat ours, and I'm thinking if you just watch our television, you just watch what's coming out of Hollywood,
mm-hmm.
And how they portray the police, and I have to think that at least 50% of police portrayed coming out of Hollywood are corrupt. They are just.
It's not an uncommon
They are just
story,
as
sure.
bad and corrupt sometimes as the mobsters that they're going after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're working underhand deals. They're working under the table. They're taking bribes.
But some people want to see a corrupt cop, like a Dirty Harry, right? Break the rules to get the bad guy.
Well, I mean, I'm not even putting him in the list that I'm talking about the bad guy, the ones that who are planting,
dealing drugs.
They're planting drugs on people
mm-hmm.
to up the sentencing.
Yeah.
They're actually working for the mob sometimes.
Right.
They're actually they're actually taking stolen
smuggling
goods.
people, smuggling goods.
And so this is prevalent in our society, in our culture, where we see this on a daily basis.
Yep.
When you go to the theater, and I'm thinking, is it maybe we're desensitized? We see it so often, and it's portrayed through Hollywood that people think, no, you know what? That's Hollywood. That could never happen. There aren't bad apples like that. This is just Hollywood, being over dramatic, and they're trying to sell tickets, so they make it, they're trying to knock it out of the park by making these cops look worse than they really are. This could never happen because it's Hollywood.
Are you saying that people would say that in the face of news like actual bad news, just dismissing the news?
Or they're not even seeing this article because it's Reason, and they're in their cat meme Facebook group, and they're not even seeing this article because they're not in. Well, they're not in our bubble.
Syracuse.com is the original reporting source, so Reason's just reporting on the original report. It wasn't an original story from Reason.
Yeah, we see these stories every single day.
Sure, but we run in the circles to see those stories.
Correct. When I have these conversations with right-wing and left-wing populists in this town, their eyebrow not only do their eyebrows not go up when I try to convey
they disbelieve
the same type of article to them, but yes, it's actual disbelief. It's like no,
that couldn't happen.
That would
here.
never happen here.
Well, Syracuse police obtained a search warrant from a judge to compel doctors to perform an invasive rectal probe of a man they suspected of hiding drugs. I mean, it really just doesn't get much worse as far as invasions of your privacy than this. Certainly, police behavior can be pretty bad, like murder and rape. This is not. Well, I guess this is rape. Even after an X-ray showed nothing out of the ordinary, and after the scope likewise turned up no drugs, the man was billed more than $4,000 for the procedure. Syracuse.com reporting that Syracuse police, a city judge in St. Joseph's Hospital Health Center, collaborated to sedate a man named Torrance Jackson after he was arrested following a traffic stop and, quote, thread an 8-inch flexible tube into his rectum in a search for illegal drugs.
Wow. My question is this something they have on hand just for this type of invasive procedure?
I mean, I'm sure they've used tubes for a variety of procedures in the hospital, Conan. It's just an 8-inch tube. So, yes, they have this on hand. I don't think that this is a common procedure as far as what the police do.
I'm thinking they don't play around and MacGyver some tube that's just sitting on the counter. They usually have, when you're in a hospital, they have specific tools for the job.
But it's probably
one of the reasons why it costs so damn much.
It's probably not normally used to look for drugs, right? It's probably used for some other procedure. But in this case, the suspect, who police say had taunted them that he'd hidden drugs there, refused consent for the procedure. Now, I don't buy that claim. Why would somebody say that to the cops? That's one of those things that a cop can say with no evidence whatsoever. Do they have him on video claiming that? Because if they don't, I don't believe it.
Of course not. They turn their chest cams off through this whole procedure.
Why would you tell a cop that you've hidden drugs in your butt?
Right, and it could be one of those things. Do you remember the movie My Cousin Vinny?
It's been a long time, but
I bet there were a lot of bad cops in there, weren't there?
Hold on. So there's the interrogation scene where the cop keeps saying, "You shot the clerk," and he's asking back the question, "I shot the clerk?"
Oh, God. Keep your mouth shut.
And then he's asking the question. He's like, "I what?"
Yeah.
What do you think I did? So I could see it being, you got drugs in your butt. I got drugs. What?
Yeah, misinterpretation.
Wow.
Then the cop, he said,
I just think it's straight up lying.
It probably is, but it wouldn't surprise me if, the cop threw a series of questions. The guy's like, wait, you think what?
At least 2 doctors resisted the police's request.
Good.
Now, they're calling it a request, and I hate it when the news media calls what the police do requests.
I'm going to have to ask you to step out of your car, ma'am.
That doesn't sound like a request when it comes from a man with a gun on his hip and his hand hovering over it. An X-ray already had indicated no drugs.
So, as I understand the law, absent a warrant, if police tell a doctor to do something, it's a request.
They got a warrant in this case. At least 2 doctors resisted the request. An X-ray indicated there were no drugs. The doctors saw no medical need to perform an invasive procedure on someone against his will. Whatever happened to that old medical do no harm
Hippocratic
thing?
oath?
Yeah. Apparently that's out the window whenever a cop shows up,
the cops never took that oath,
or a man with a robe writes something down on a piece of paper.
But Ian, it's for their own good. They had drugs, and if they take the drugs, they could die. So we got to make sure we get all the drugs from this guy.
The notes from police and doctors suggest some tension, a standoff. At one point, 8 police officers were at the hospital. The doctor remembers telling officers, quote, "We would not be doing that," unquote. The hospital's top lawyer was pulled in. He was talked with by the judge, or he talked with the judge who signed the search warrant, which was written by police and signed at the judge's home. When they were done, the hospital lawyer overruled the doctors. The lawyer told his doctors that a search warrant required the doctors to use, quote, "any means to retrieve the drugs that weren't showing in an x-ray." More coming up.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Marijuana has unleashed a green gold rush across our nation. It's creating $10.8 billion in new wealth a year. And every day, it's transforming more and more Americans into millionaires. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner reveals how you could become one of them. Join him online for the American Cannabis Summit. Attendance is 100% free, but space is limited. Join online at www.acs2018.com. John Boehner and an esteemed panel will reveal which cannabis stocks are primed to deliver life-changing windfalls. Plus, they will show you how to become a cannabis angel investor, backing the hottest startups before they potentially become worth billions of dollars.
To join the American Cannabis Summit, visit acs2018.com or text JOIN to 76280. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Text JOIN to 76280. Text JOIN to 76280 now.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and moments remain here, but there's enough time for you if you want to jump into the discussion. We're talking about an absolutely outrageous story, not the first one of its kind, sadly, but the most recent version of somebody having their cavity violated, their rectum searched without their consent, under the orders of a judge in Syracuse, New York. And Syracuse.com has an exhaustive story about this. We're reading from the Hit and Run blog over at Reason.com, which has a much shorter summary of this. But they've got the just play-by-play horrifying story of a man who was arrested by the police. They suspected him of hiding drugs. They claim he said he'd hidden drugs there. He says he never said any such thing. And, of course, cops are known for lying, so I suspect he's telling the truth and the cops are lying here. They already did an X-ray on the dude. Didn't show any evidence of anything hidden up there.
Right.
But nonetheless, the police continued to demand a procedure be done. They went to a judge in his home. This judge, this
after
a-hole,
two, I'm assuming based on the order that things are written, two doctors refused to do the thing.
Yep.
And it sounds like then the cops went to get the warrant because then that's the only way they could compel the doctors to actually do the searches that they wanted.
I cannot imagine being a doctor and still doing something like that. Look, if the hospital attorney told me that a judge says we got to do this, I'd be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I would not participate in something like that, and I have not taken a Hippocratic oath, which says you shall do no harm. And I don't care what a man in a robe says. I've got a lab coat on, and this lab coat here says I get to decide what procedures I'm going to participate in.
Right.
I'm not going to be the tool of the state, literally violating somebody's most, sacred cavities on their body. It's horrifying. The attorney in this particular case here, let's see here. I've got this I'm going to excerpt from the Syracuse.com article. This guy's name is, Lowell Seifter, who is the hospital attorney. He reviewed the court order, spoke with the judge, and claimed that they don't have the right to refuse. Seifter, by the way, every attorney is an officer of the court. Mm-hmm. So even though he's working for the hospital, his allegiance lies with the court system first and foremost. So, of course, the attorney is going to say, do what the judge says. Seifter, the hospital's counsel, has been a prominent lawyer in Syracuse for decades. His expertise is in business. His office declined to comment for the story. The doctor who performed the search, let's see here. Well, anyway, sorry, there really wasn't there what I thought there was. Let me go on here with the Reason.com story. So Jackson was hooked up. Jackson is the suspect here.
Torrance Jackson
was hooked up to an IV against his will and put under general anesthesia while doctors performed a sigmoidoscopy. No drugs were found. So even though there was no evidence in the X-ray of drugs, they still pressed. They demanded this colonoscopy, and they still didn't find any drugs. According to the story, Jackson was arrested after a pretextual traffic stop where officers found a baggie of marijuana and detected cocaine residue on his car seat. Jackson has a long rap sheet and was combative with the police in the jail. In fact, they broke his arm at one point, according to the Syracuse story. But the encounter crossed into dubious ethical and legal territory when police compelled doctors to perform the medical procedure that the doctors saw as unnecessary. Previous cases like this have resulted in police and hospitals paying out huge amounts of money to settle lawsuits. And here's the story you'd referenced earlier, Darryl. In 2016, the federal government and an El Paso hospital agreed to pay a New Mexico woman roughly $1.6 million for the 6 hours of invasive cavity searches that she was subjected to after Customs and Border Patrol drug-sniffing dog alerted on her.
That's not the story I'm thinking of. The story I'm thinking of was Hidalgo County, New Mexico, 2014.
That's what they're going to tell you about now. And in Deming, New Mexico, they paid David Eckert also $1.6 million. So the same amount after he was subjected to 2 X-rays, 2 digital probes of his anus, 3 enemas, and a colonoscopy in an ultimately vain search for drugs. In another 2014 settlement, CPB in the same El Paso hospital agreed to pay out $1.1 million to a woman who endured a similarly degrading series of cavity searches. The Texas Tribune reported at the time, quote, aside from the vaginal probe and CT scan, the woman also underwent a forced observed bowel movement. They watched her.
Yes.
Go to the bathroom. A rectal exam and an x-ray, according to the Texas Tribune. She was eventually released 6 hours later, then billed $5,000 because she refused to sign a consent to search statement. The drug charges against Mr. Jackson in this most recent incident in New York were apparently thrown out. Jackson has refused to pay for the unwanted medical procedure, and the hospital then threatened to send him to collections. However, according to the Syracuse.com story, St. Joe's threatened to send it to a collection agency before forgiving the cost. How in the world could this poor man, who never wanted these procedures done on him, ever be billed in the first place for this? It was the judge who ordered it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, talk about insult to injury.
Well, one thing interesting, you had mentioned that the Syracuse.com article was fairly lengthy.
Yeah, I'll link to it on our
I'm skimming through. So the incident with Jackson happened October of last year.
That's correct. End of last year. Yes.
Since then, the hospital handled a similar situation differently in May 2018.
Oh, really?
A man was brought in by police who suspected he had hidden cocaine also in his rectum. X-rays were also negative. The suspect also refused consent. But here, doctors who consulted with the hospital lawyer wrote in their notes, quote, policy states that no cavity search to be performed unless medically indicated.
What if was it the same lawyer? Are you aware?
It's not clear.
Doesn't say. It also doesn't specify the ethnicity of the second individual. Mr. Jackson is a black man.
Further, I'm on the same section here. Doctors noted any drugs would come out in the course of time. They wrote, quote, the patient will need to move his bowels at some point with an expected expulsion of the foreign body. We will follow in case with an urgent procedure if necessary.
But they're limited to how long they can keep someone if they're not actually a criminal, right? So 24 hours?
Well, I mean, if they've been charged with something, they can just deny them bail, and then they can keep them for.
But if they're not, and they're actually waiting for the drug charge to show up, so they can actually throw something at him.
They can throw anything at them. They can throw disorderly conduct at him.
Can you keep someone longer than 24 hours for disorderly?
You can keep somebody until the trial.
And a hospital is not a holding cell, so I don't think the rules of detention would apply.
Yeah, but they're trying to throw drugs on this guy. They want that charge as quickly as possible.
This is something that you need to ask a lawyer about, not a couple of radio hosts
so they can take him back to the holding cell.
Understanding.
Yep.
This is just so insane. I mean,
I know when I worked hospital security, there were people that were intoxicated that their blood level was so high they were on watch for 36 hours before the blood dropped down low enough to where they could even talk to the doctor.
Right. Where do they stay,
wow.
by the way?
Wow, this dude was passed out, too, while they did this to him.
Holy crap.
So he didn't even have the ability to say anything about it. They violated him rectally while he was unconscious. He found out the next day after he noticed something was feeling funny and he was leaking blood in his underwear.
God.
Yeah, it mentions previously that they say he was belligerent, and so they gave him sedatives.
Mm-hmm. After they were trying to probably get him to consent to it, so then they did it
and
anyway.
They apparently put some type of mask on him, like the weird,
gas
flu mask or whatever. Said that he says that made it hard to breathe. Was I guess rightly so, yelling at staff of I can't effing breathe. And then they wound up, because he was belligerent, they gave him sedatives.
Bad Slave, you got the last thought here. You're going to have to be quick about it, though. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. I was just going to say, you already announced that the colonoscopy is a common, thing where they look up your butt.
Yeah.
And, with a camera. And that equipment is available and ready.
Every hospital's got that stuff.
Everybody after their middle to late 40s to 50s is approached with this opportunity.
The opportunity. Thanks for the call, Bad Slave.
Actually, guess what I turn next month?
40?
40.
All right.
Do I have this opportunity to look forward to?
You could just tell Keene Police you hit something up there, and then they might get one for you.
Get a free one.
Yeah.
Well, but they'll charge me for it.
Yeah. Well, apparently they ended up dropping
the bill in the mail.
Out of time tonight. See you tomorrow. freetalklive.com. We got to end this war on drugs.
If you're looking for work, it's a process of elimination, and you're trying not to be eliminated. So here's a tip for making the cut, and this might seem subtle, but to the person interviewing you, it's not. There is a world of difference between applicants who convey, "I need a job," and those who simply ooze, "I want to work," especially in these lean times when many you're competing with will seem desperate in "I'll take anything" mode. If you convey specific interest in this job at this company, you will be conspicuous. Thus, the value of going to school on the company you're applying to before the interview. With money and attention so tight now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips for job seekers and everyone else, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The Torchwood Report is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, December 19th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.66 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,248 per ounce. Zen is trading at $5, and the average price of Bitcoin is $3,944. Antiwar.com reports a letter from President Donald Trump was given to the president of Kosovo, urging him to capitalize on this unique opportunity surrounding the creation of a military to reach a comprehensive peace with neighboring Serbia. NATO forcibly separated Kosovo from Serbia in a war in 1999 and has maintained that separation since. Serbia does not recognize Kosovo's independence, nor do some other nations. The creation of a Kosovo military backed by the U.S. has been opposed by Serbia and the rest of NATO as potentially provocative. Trump, however, is embracing it as a sign of progress, saying the U.S. has invested heavily in the success of Kosovo. In the letter, he also offered to play host to the Serbian and Kosovar presidents for the purpose of working on such a deal. Negotiating such a peace deal would be complicated. Kosovo's government is notoriously hostile to their ethnic Serbian minority, which lives on the Serbian border and wants to be part of Serbia. The U.S. and NATO, however, have opposed the idea of giving the border Serbs the right of self-determination, insisting they remain part of historical Kosovo and that Kosovo, while historically a Serbian province, remains independent. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports consumer advocate groups are asking the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether child-friendly mobile games available in the Google Play Store violate privacy laws by building a profile of the children. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act prohibits the collection of geolocation data and other private information that could be sold to advertisers. The group of 22 consumer advocate groups filed a complaint with the FTC saying Google violates COPPA and its own policies with several of its games. Many of the games are targeted at preschool-aged children. Josh Golan, executive director of the Campaign for a Commercial-Free Childhood, said the business model for the Play Store's family section benefits advertisers, developers, and Google at the expense of children and parents. Google puts its seal of approval on apps that break the law, manipulate kids into watching ads, and making purchases. The complaint cites several examples of child-targeted games that access a phone's geolocation, including the apps Preschool Education Center and Top 28 Nursery Rhymes and Songs. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports the U.S. Senate on Tuesday overwhelmingly passed legislation long in the making and backed by President Donald Trump to reduce sentencing for certain prison inmates. By a vote of 87 to 12, the Republican-led Senate passed and sent to the House of Representatives the First Step Act, which would ease the way for some prisoners to win early release to halfway houses or home confinement. The legislation also aims to establish programs to head off repeat offenders and protect first-time nonviolent offenders from harsh mandatory minimum sentences. Earlier this year, the House passed a bipartisan bill focusing on prison reforms, which did not include the sentencing reforms. With little time left as Congress tries to wrap up its session this month, Senate proponents are hoping their broader version of the bill is accepted by the Republican-controlled House. Trump congratulated the Senate on passing the bill and said he looks forward to signing it into law. During Senate debate of the bill, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin noted that the United States has 5% of the world's population, but about 25% of the world's prisoners. He added that minorities bore the brunt of tough mandatory minimum sentences that judges have been directed to impose as a result of decades-old laws that have exploded the numbers of incarcerated people. In response to criticism from some conservatives that the legislation could prompt the release of violent criminals into society, the bipartisan measure was reworked to scale back the discretion judges would have in some sentencing cases. Before passing the bill, the Senate defeated amendments by Republican Senators Tom Cotton and John Kennedy that would have further tightened requirements. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Shortly after beginning his first date with area woman Pauline Geary, smitten local man Brad Holtman told Onion reporters he couldn't believe that the woman was also a fan of the 1960s British rock band, the Beatles.
We were just talking about music, and she mentioned that she liked the Beatles, which is crazy because I love the Beatles, actually. Yeah, funny thing is, I was not really even looking forward to the date. I figured we'd get a drink or whatever, but it's turning out a lot cooler than I thought it was going to. I mean, she's just such a huge fan. She knows all the Beatles names. She even owns some of their albums. I've been a Beatles fan since like 6th or 7th grade, so I don't want to get too excited and jump into something. So I think I'm going to ask her if she's ever seen The Godfather, which is probably my top 5 movies of all time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Torchwood Report. I am Matthew Taylor, joined as always by the one true Niz. Today is Wednesday, December 19th, 2018, and guys, do we have a lot to get into tonight. But before we jump into our first topic, I'm kicking it over to Niz with our weekly announcement.
This broadcast is covered by the BIPCOT No Government License. That means that you are free to use or rebroadcast portions or segments of this show so long as you are not an agent or advocate for government. If you fail to heed this warning, you will be socially shamed eternity. For more information, please visit bipcot.org. That's BIPCOT.org.
So, Niz, let's talk about somebody who is currently starting their descent down social shame.
He's on the shit list.
He really, really is. And I'm talking about Fox News host Tucker Carlson, who is, if you say under fire, I would say that's probably an understatement. He's on his way out.
It's so dumb, dude. The whole thing is so dumb.
It is.
Dude.
Okay, you go.
Dumb.
And go. Yeah, let's hear what you have to say, Niz. I'm interested in this.
Yeah, it's just dumb, dude. I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, as far as you know, people that are on in the mainstream media, Tucker Carlson is I mean, he's still, you know,
troglodyte.
He's still a Fox News host. I mean, I'm not a big fan, and I don't really want to be bashing Fox because honestly, they're you know, leaps and bounds ahead of like MSNBC and